Is it going live yet? Hello, YouTube internet. Welcome to the King of Anime podcast, everyone. Woo! How's everybody doing this week? I hope you all are having a great week because we are starting a new season. The fall 2024 season. No more summer 2024. No more. None of that garbage. Even though it's kind of like one of the best seasons we've ever kind of watched on the show. But I'm just, it's a joke, right? Yeah. But yeah, we're covering the new summer 2024 or the fall 2024 anime season.
Or it's already off to a bad start. Start over.
Oh, dude, trust me. Once I am out of this stress, like all of this stress, my speech patterns will return to normal, and I won't forget what I'm saying halfway through. Which is to say, once I get proper sleep. But we're talking about fall 2024 anime. We are covering Oshi no Ko this week because it's the last episode. But other than that, co-hosts, introduce yourselves. What have you guys been up to this week?
Hey there. It is your pal Everything Animated. This past Thursday, I took my son to see Korn. We saw them live. I keep meaning to upload those videos, but I haven't. I haven't uploaded them yet, but I will. And then after that, just pretty much had a nice chill weekend. Fucking watched the Cardinals pull out a miraculous victory against the 49ers. Hell yeah.
Oh, you guys won that game?
Can you believe that?
I didn't watch it. I just seen the score at one point.
Yeah. It was a depressing 23 to 10. And I'm like, well, we're going to fucking lose this one. And then I, saw the score was 21 to 23. I went, what? What the fuck happened? And then, yeah, game-winning field goal kick, and then 49ers were getting it back, and then sack, interception, win the game. So I was like, yes. Hey. Oh, what impressive. I'm impressed.
I love to see the 49ers lose, so
same.
Thank y'all.
Yes, absolutely. So that was my weekend. It was pretty good. Satsuki?
Oh, man. Last week was awful. It got better towards the weekend when I started streaming. It was pretty busy too. I streamed Saturday for 15 hours, turned around and then streamed again 5 hours later or so because I had to react to the new Hunter x Hunter chapter. And that's another thing. Hunter x Hunter came back, so I was able to read that. And I'm editing the live reaction to it as we speak.
Oh.
But
double duty.
And then I did the game show with Hollow-chan and the rest of the boys, Ellie, Servo, Zephin. It was a cool time. So things were bad during the weekday, but the weekend it got better. And this week, I'm hoping things are good too, minus the hurricane.
You said a game show?
Yeah, it was like this Nikkei game show, like basically Jeopardy.
Oh wow! How'd you do?
Me? I mean, we were working as a team.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, if it was just myself, I would have did absolutely awful. I got one question right.
The one with the ass.
it was different categories. So it was like name the OST, which I don't listen to the Nikkei OST. I listen to my own music whenever I play it. It was like name the character, and then it would give you very. It's like if you had to name me, and then all you got was a piece of this earring. Is it?
Yeah.
It was that difficult.
Yeah, definitely glad you had Ellie and Hollow. They probably were masters.
No. Hollow was hosting it, so he wasn't on a team or anything.
Oh,
like
I
that.
see.
He's hosting the whole thing.
I'm starting to understand now.
Ellie definitely helped, but Servo was basically he was our guy. He was our cleaner for that.
You're like, please answer for me. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, he was knocking all the questions out the park.
Nice.
Well, if you haven't already, leave a like on the podcast, share it out with your friends, your family, everyone you know or want to know. Share it out with them. Tell them about KOA. Also, as well, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/King of Anime. We got some great content up on there. We got a Pokemon podcast up on there. And I think this season we're going to have a lot of cool new stuff to go on the Patreon. So it's going to be rad. It's going to be awesome. And there's a huge backlog. So definitely go check it out. And it's only growing. It's, you know, I heard from a little birdie, a.k.a. Walt Disney. He was jealous. He was jealous of all the content we have on King of Anime, KOA Plus.
Yeah, good thing he's been dead since before we were born.
Well, don't you know, EA? It's spoopy season, meaning all the dead people come back as ghosts.
You're right.
For 1 month.
It is spoopy season. I forgot about that.
Also, make some biskies with us on Blue Sky or die. We have a Blue Sky. Go check it out if you haven't already. It's a great alternative platform to all of the other social media sites, especially a certain birdie who we don't want to mention anymore. I don't want to mention anymore. These guys can if they want, but subscribe to us, bitch. And that is the rigmarole.
It's not a bird anymore. That's the problem.
Oh, that's right. It's a stupid X.
Yeah, X.
I refuse to call it that, though.
You know,
because nobody in their right mind says, "Welcome to X."
It's the town center of the internet. It was before.
How long has it been X at this point? Has it been a year?
I feel like it's been almost close to it, if not.
How long will this site exist? That is the real question. A year?
I mean, I'm just hoping that somebody else gets it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
It's your old pal, me.
Mark Cuban.
I'll take anybody at this point.
Wait, so you're saying I could buy it and you'd be okay with it?
Yeah.
I feel like you would do great with it, see?
Oh, no, it's... I mean, I'd probably do a better job than Muskie Boy, but other than that...
Literally, all you have to do is nothing, and then you would be doing better.
Right, exactly.
All I'd have to do is just not be an incel like he is.
And fix all the fucking shit that people never asked for. You know what I mean? Do literally the opposite, and then you win.
Yeah, just literally do Twitter again. Bring back Twitter. That's it.
Right.
Just
pretty much.
Just hire someone to hire good people.
You want to pay for stuff again? Well, guess what? It's free again.
Yep.
You want to block somebody but still see their shit? Well, that's stupid. Let's make it to where you block people.
Yeah, get rid of that.
And you block people.
It sounds like an awful idea.
I'm a crazy person. I know I'm talking out my ass, but just imagine, will you, in a world where when you block some stuff that you don't want to see just because you're not interested in it, or if it's, dare I say it, racist, you don't want to see that. I mean, come on.
Snowflake.
Yeah, don't you like freedom of speech, EA?
Of course I do. But I also like the freedom of not having to see other people's bullshit.
You know what that sounds like to me?
What?
Communism.
Oh, man. I knew it would always come to this.
Big welcome to everybody in the chat, the Crepus Storm, Trayvon, Denitas Media.
Yeah.
What up, yo? Yeah, I'm here. Thanks again for covering Dandadan. It's my current favorite ongoing manga series, so it means a lot. You guys are going to love this series, especially once the Turbo Granny arc is over. It's no longer a bird, it's an X. Not going to cover Uzumaki. So Uzumaki, we're going to cover on a separate podcast since it's only 4 episodes. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it was worth talking about it when
Mm-mm.
we weren't going to cover it for that long, anyways. Uh, a bird that became a letter. What about the freedom to make you see bullshit?
Now that sounds like the true patriot right there.
Oh man,
What a that's a freedom
a,
fighter.
fr- a freedom fighter.
Freedom fighter.
That sounds like a delicious treat.
It does. It actually really does.
Sounds like some shit Wendy's would make.
Hey, I can't wait for those Krabby Patties.
Oh, you kidding me? When they come
I'm
out
there day one.
with those crab, yeah, I'm coming out. I'm buying a Krabby Patty.
I'm first in line. I'm waking up literally tomorrow. It's tomorrow, right?
I don't remember when it is, but all I know is that it's a special promotion. You get that. You get a Frosty that's a special limited edition pineapple flavor,
Whew.
and then regular fries or whatever.
Can't
But
wait to stuff my gullet with horrible fast food.
hey, all in the name of Sponge. It's all in the name of SpongeBob.
All in the name of capitalism, baby. Love it. Let's go ahead though, and let's talk about the news.
We got something to never give you the blues. Now let's get ready for the KOA news.
It's Miracle!
Well, unfortunately, it always seems like we're the air of bad news with these things.
God damn it.
And especially with this being the release date of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero for the people who pre-ordered it or got whatever package that you needed. I played a little bit of that in the beginning, by the way. It was pretty fun. Didn't get to go through all the characters, but that'll be a project for a different day. So I want to say rest in peace to Doc Harris, the Dragon Ball Z English narrator. Everybody has, I feel, has parried it, but like that voice.
Mhm.
Next time on Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z.
Yeah, it's just-
Absolutely.
it's iconic, rings in your ears, something that I think we'll always remember. It is funny because it's not like he has a role in the story at all, but that voice still is iconic to the series for everybody that watched Dragon Ball in the English dub. So
Absolutely.
rest in peace.
Rest in peace to a legend. I mean, you always knew the recap of the episode with him, and you always knew what was coming next week or the next episode at the very end, if you stuck around that long to see the after credits, because, well, it wasn't even the after credits. It was before the credits. He would start talking. On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, oh my god, they're fucking alive. Just, they're not really dead. We did this cliffhanger for nothing. Yeah,
And then
I always hated stuff like that.
Then the music. Bow, bow, bow.
Down, 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 down. Yeah, I
Goku
love it.
finds himself in a situation. He has to babysit Bulma. Will he make it out alive? Find out next time on the exciting conclusion to the Bulma babysitting arc.
On this episode of Dragon Ball, Vegeta beats his wife. That wasn't funny. This is quite awful and very serious subject matter. Please call 911 on Dragon Ball Z. Oh my god.
Yeah,
But yeah, rest in peace to him.
definitely.
All right, next bit of news we have is, speaking of Uzumaki. Now, I have not seen episode 2 for myself, but I have been seeing clips all over the Bird app or the Letter app now of Uzumaki episode 2. And from what people have been showing with these clips, the animation absolutely tanked. Which, or EA, you watched it?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Well, how was it like in totality? Are people just picking choice clips, or was it?
To be honest, and I said this to C and the rest of the gang when I hopped into a server, I honestly didn't notice until someone pointed it out, and maybe that's just me being who I am and just not paying attention to shit, just because I was just more like, I was more like, what the fuck's going on in this series? But then when I saw, everybody knows it, the fucking beach scene, and you see the absolute running animation, and it's like they're running in one place, but it's slowly going further and further away. That looks so cheap. Yeah, they like to use that scene over and over again. But to be honest, as far as other scenes are concerned, I didn't think it was too bad. I mean, and maybe people are comparing that to the manga. I honestly don't know. I just know from, because I saw some stuff where I was like, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. But I didn't think it was too bad. I think it's just a few choice clips that people like to make fun of. But in all honesty, I think it's because how well animated the first episode was that when it is a noticeable dip in quality, but it's not like terrible. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Did you see it? See?
No, when I heard that, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna wait to watch all the episodes at once.
So there's a reason why that came into fruition in the first place. So uh now, mind you, I did not look this up myself, but a couple different sources have been saying this. They have completely changed directors. So the director of the first episode, it wasn't on the second episode, and apparently isn't going to be there at all.
Like,
People have had their
really?
theories and whatnot, but like there's been a change in directors, even studios, apparently.
You're kidding me.
Yes.
So they got this amazing quality first episode, then they just decided, well, boys, that was all. The next episodes are gonna be shit. Save a
So
few bucks.
okay, so like the theory, mind you, this is a theory. This is not concrete. But the theory was because of how hard it was for with episode one, like it was a lot of work that was put into it. They opted to go a more like lazier route. So again, the director for the first episode, they got the fuck up out of there, got somebody else who was going to just make it easier on them, and they roll with that. So you might not ever see the animation reach how episode one was.
That's a shame. I mean, the fact that they had 5 years to do all that just makes me scratch my head too at that too, because it's like, if they needed more time, was anybody really like saying, "Hey, we need to make a deadline"? I mean, we waited this long, you know?
Probably
Crazy.
just money. The committee probably budgeted for 4 episodes, and they said we're gonna have 4 episodes. God damn it! And so a bunch of stuff probably happened. I'm sure Oshinoko is gonna cover it in the next season. They'll probably have some sort of whole arc about it. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, you're probably right. I
Well,
mean, you did mention that, what was it, 5 years ago, see, that no one will ever make an adaptation that'll be as good as Juji Into's manga. Maybe you were right.
I think episode 1 proves it can be done.
Hmm.
I think that first episode is so good that even if this is the only good thing we get, that was a pretty great first episode. So, and that's the thing. That's usually what happens with Juji Ito. It's like there's like a director that comes on board for like a scene from like one of his manga, and then they adapt it really well, and then you get shit for the rest of it. That's usually how it goes.
well, if it ends up being shit the rest of the way, at least we won't have to suffer through it. Just 4 episodes, so
Right. That's at least a positive.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Kind of a shame though.
Hmm.
well, last bit of news is Oshinoko is getting a season three. So this continues the trend of getting these announcements like right after the anime ends. So
Yeah.
uh and Oshinoko, I think we all expected to get another season.
Oh
So
yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
this does not come as a surprise for any of us.
I will say, based on the last episode of this season, and just based on the entirety of season 2, I am really looking forward to season 3. That's kind of crazy for me to say that, but it is true. I think I am an Oshinoko fan. I'm an Oshino fan now.
You're an Oshino fan, bro.
Yep. I will say though, I am tempering my expectations highly. Despite season 2 being good, I have been burned time and time over again, thanks to MHA recently, that I'm not going to expect anything great. I'm going to expect something on the level of season 1, which is a couple good episodes, and that's about it. That seems pessimistic on my part. Sorry if I'm being negative about that. If anyone's kind of like, oh, dude, but I don't know. That's just the way I feel about it.
Man.
I hate you.
Mother.
Listen.
Hello, Carp.
Listen.
Yes, I'm listening.
Oh no.
You used that sound effect last night at a certain scene. We'll talk about that later.
Oh God, I forget. I've already forgotten.
When we start talking about it, we will talk about it in detail. Anyway, hello, Carp. Hello, Sababu.
Sababu.
Hopefully you guys are having a good night. And okay, that was your announcements for the news. Here's my little versions of the news here. I don't have them written down, but I have them here as well. Elusive Samurai Season 2 has been announced. So I think that's really cool. I know I didn't finish watching it, but it seemed interesting enough that maybe I'll pick it up later. And it did well enough to get a Season 2, so happy for them in that regards. A little bit of video game news today. A sequel to Alien Isolation is now in early development. If y'all were a fan of Alien Isolation,
great game.
There's this great game. Gonna be a sequel coming out. The new movie Alien. What's the new Alien movie that just came out? Romulus, thank you. It was based off the video game, inspired by it. So this video game is very important, and it also made Alien super fucking creepy again, which it needed. So that one's getting a sequel. Silent Hill 2 came out, I think
I heard it's overheating PS5s.
Yeah, it came out this past Friday, something like that.
There's no way that game's good. I don't know if it's good or not, but I don't believe it.
I mean,
people have been saying good things about it thus far.
Yeah, it looks
it's
good.
Silent Hill 2, but the developer is like not a good developer.
I'll definitely wait and see with
and it's
that
Konami.
one. But it looks good. It looks good. Also, today is the 21st year anniversary of the GameCube classic Beautiful Joe.
Yeah.
Came out 21 years ago, and it's probably one of the best games.
Go, baby.
Into the go, baby. Yeah. Probably one of my favorite GameCube games. Definitely needs a remaster. Why it hasn't been remastered already, I will never understand. But
well, Platinum
what can you do?
Has the rights to Wonderful 101, so who knows? It may lead the way for Beautiful Joe.
I hope. A remaster would be cool, but a sequel would be fucking amazing.
Beautiful Joe 3. What happened at the end of 2? I don't remember.
God, it's been so long. I always played the first one, and I think I played 2 once. I remember you played as him, and you played as your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So it was like a guy and a girl. So I don't know what the third. I can't remember. It's been so long.
I have a figure of him somewhere. I don't know where it is. It may be in my ottoman that I just have in a corner, just gathering dust.
And somewhere. I have the actual GameCube game, the first one.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's probably worth a pretty penny.
I wish I kept all the Beautiful Joe games that I had.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Great games. But did I have anything else? No, the one's not really mentionable. It's just 343 Studios
I was
is
about to
now
say
Halo
that.
Studios. That's really it.
Good for them. My opinions on this is good for them. I think it's a smart move. They're probably going to release a good game because they've always released, at the very least, good games. So I have no doubt. And I also understand that Halo Studios is not 343. They fired everyone from 343, and they got a completely, totally new staff, like top down. So these are new people with maybe a couple people coming back, like Sketch. But yeah, it's going to be a Halo Combat Evolved remake in the Unreal Engine, and that's, I'll buy it, I'll play it, but I think when it comes to Halo, I have been burned too many times. Too many times. And it's never the games on launch. The games on launch are always good, but it's always the support afterwards. There's never enough. And it's mostly to do with Microsoft. I just don't trust Microsoft at this point to deliver on anything. Because they haven't changed anything.
Yeah, honestly, they're good at buying studios and then shutting them down.
Yeah.
That seems to be what they're good at lately.
And there was hope one time that they would do something, but I think it's pretty clear at this point that Microsoft doesn't even... all they care about is just, making money.
Sitting on their IPs.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'll play it. I'm excited to play Halo again. Always. Halo's always fun, but... yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the news for me.
No.
I'm sorry. Sasuke, take the floor.
Remember, we had a whole discussion about Morbius last week, correct?
Oh my
was
God,
it
yes.
Wednesday? Was it Wednesday or Monday?
I know it was sometime last week.
It was the award show, I think.
Okay. What happened?
I never thought I had to mention Morbius again, but
fuck.
Joker 2 earned less than Morbius in its domestic opening weekend.
That was a movie that never needed a sequel. The first Joker was great. This one was like, why? It was nothing but a cash grab. So bad.
I'm reading the replies. Somebody posted a Dark Knight Joker, the scene. They said the caption was they didn't put the movie out for the money. And it's the Joker gift. It's about sending a message.
It's not about money, it's about sending a message. Yeah. It was so bad. Well, I mean, I didn't watch it, but I heard it basically, and I hate when movies do this shit. They literally take everything from the first one and deconstruct it, and they go, you remember the mystery, remember the allure, remember everything that was ambiguous? Well, there's a reason behind everything now. So I hate when movies do that. Ugh. Bad. Yeah, go watch The Joker. That one's a good movie. The sequel, don't.
Carp told me it was a musical. That's a weird choice.
That is a crazy choice. And don't get me wrong, I've known that for a while. And for the people that are like, they're complaining about that, whatever. I knew it was going to be a musical because Lady Gaga was in it. But it is definitely a weird choice, I think, for a movie like that. Ugh. They just need to re-release it decrepit.
Yeah, we'll show up.
I was dealing with the hurricane. I couldn't go. I couldn't go. I was preparing.
It was a natural disaster. I couldn't go this past weekend.
I was going to buy my tickets, I swear. Just put it back in theaters for another month, please.
Also, hello QRW6. Hope you're doing well.
Sababu said I play Metaphor Fantasio demo.
Fantasio.
What is that?
Fantasio.
It's
Isn't that like the
fantasy Persona. It's Persona
Oh,
5
yeah, okay.
with the job system for Final Fantasy 12.
Huh.
They said that game has gotten pretty great reviews all across the board. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I've seen them.
People say it's literally Persona 5 with jobs. So I am pretty excited to play it, but I'm saving money. So
Does that mean that you can date a teacher?
I don't know if there's dating, but
Boo! Already bad game.
0 out of 10.
well, I'm just saying I don't know. It could. It could. You could date your teacher. It could just be a
Okay,
game
great
about
game.
dating teachers.
You just want a MILF simulator. That's what you want.
I mean, moving on. Let's talk about Full Metal
You're welcome.
Alchemist episode 1. Let's get into some Nakama Club. EA
Oh,
has
man.
never once seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
And the differences already start with the first episode.
To be fair, I never finished it. I mean, I did start it, but that's when I was kind of like I was confused because this was back when it originally came out. I was thinking it was like a sequel to Full Metal Alchemist, the original 2003 version, and then when I saw Brotherhood, it was different at the beginning. It absolutely was. But then later on, as we kept going, it started changing. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This is the same thing over again. And then I got tired of it. But I definitely see what you guys mean when you say, like, the first episode feels like you had to have watched the original Full Metal Alchemist anime to watch this. Because then it kind of like leans heavy on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does, yeah.
Brotherhood definitely. I don't think it does it in the first episode, but there's definitely some moments where it's almost as if they expected you already to have watched the original Full Metal Alchemist, so they kind of speed through things because of that. It's specifically later with a certain character that they kind of gloss over in Brotherhood, but it was a whole episode in the original Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, and this episode, by the way, one of the most surprising things is this series came out in 2011, right?
I thought it was
2009.
Yeah, 2009.
2009.
Like late 2000s.
Oh, Brotherhood, right? Brotherhood came out
Yeah.
in
2003 was the original. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dang. This show looks fantastic for its age.
Yeah.
It looks Bones, man. They were on some shit back in this era because wow, it truly was a spectacle of an episode. The fact that what was the bad guy's name in this episode?
Isaac Douglas.
Isaac Douglas, when he did the whole ice wall thing,
Or
dude.
McDougal.
And-
McDougal.
I do love the character names in this show. They're always interesting and unique, but I like how he created the ice wall and it just plows through all of those buildings, killing dozens and dozens and hundreds of innocent people and families. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of the scene from Declaration of War in Attack on Titan when Eren is in the basement with Reiner and he transforms into the Attack Titan and just ends up killing a building full of people and everyone in the crowd. Sort of reminded me of that a little bit.
He didn't kill anybody there.
Yeah, well,
And they were all watching Morbius.
There was a few people that got frozen and he pushed them over and they shattered.
he froze people. I like how he's talking to Kimberly. And Kimberly's a freaking psycho, man. Dude, he's crazy.
You're talking about the guy in jail?
Yeah, the guy in prison, yeah. He's
Which,
whack.
by the way, voice of Trunks.
Yeah.
Also, everybody in here is from Dragon Ball Z in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, this is like right after the golden age of Funimation.
Yep.
Really was beginning to kind of this is probably like the start of the plateau.
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. It's probably like in
I
the
would say
middle of the series.
I would say peak voice acting because everyone's perfect in their role.
Yeah.
Which I want to get off my chest really quick. Everyone is perfect in their role. Everyone is just like the right. They fit the character so well. But I feel like, that there are characters where they were born to play them, and Vic Mignogna was born to play Edward Elric. When everything's all said and done for him, he will be remembered. Like, this will be his best character, in my opinion.
I think Chris Sabat is Armstrong. I think a bunch of characters we haven't even got to yet are just. Yeah, this was like Funimation at their pinnacle of casting. And what I find so unfortunate and kind of, I don't know, kind of makes me sad a little bit is you hear online during this time that people were tired of these voice actors. And
Really?
I go and I look back at this era of Funimation, when Funimation still existed, I guess. And I feel like I could listen to these guys forever. Like,
Same.
that group, and I know it was kind of like a smaller group, but they were so good, and they all had such distinct voices that I think today there's so many voice actors, and don't get me wrong, I think on average all the dubs nowadays are either good to great, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't think there's a terrible one out there.
Yeah, it's hard to find bad dubs these days, but man, this group, this cast is so great, and I feel like there's a little bit of a lacking of something in the new age of dubs compared to what we had back then. But that could just be me being biased because I grew up with these VAs.
I think that's what it is. I mean, everyone had their just like. It's weird because it's like I know they're voice actors, but it felt like each voice actor had their own unique kind of like way of talking that you could just, when you hear it, you can call it out and you go, oh, that's Vic Mignogna. Oh, that's Chris Sabat. Oh, that's Trunks. That's Krillin's voice actor.
And who else, EA?
Who else?
Who else would be in this group of
Oh, no.
actors?
I already know what you're going to say. I'm sure Sean was in there somewhere, but I don't know who he was voicing.
Oh, he's like he's like a background character making like some noise in the crowd.
He's one of those fucking right. He's one of the officers that go, "Stop right there."
Yeah. He's going to appear, no doubt, somewhere in these episodes.
For sure.
So, Isaac is the central villain in this episode, and he's very interesting when you look at the series in totality. He becomes more interesting as more and more things develop within the story. I've already seen this series in full and read it, so of course I won't say why that is. But his whole purpose in this episode, in his perspective, he was the anti-hero. He is killing people for sure, but it's all for a just cause that nobody really cares about. Nobody gives a fuck. I think Edward literally said when he was talking about why he was doing what he was doing, he was like, we need to take down Bradley. He started the Ishvalan War. Stand with me, my brother. And then Edward was like, I don't care. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he was trying to convince him, and he's just like, look, I can what's it called? Transmogrify? I can transmutate without having to make a circle. I can just do it with my hand, boom, you're dead.
Yeah, and I found world building wise, this episode was really good because with Isaac, he was a part of the anti-establishment movement, which is quite literally what that means is anti-government in every way, like anti-federal anything. So basically, this group is kind of
Anarchists.
Yeah, it seems like they're anarchists that are playing on the Ishvalan conflict and are using that as a wedge to drive in between everything and kind of I guess, sow division and chaos in these institutions and establishments. And it's really interesting when you look at it that way, because you hear a lot of what these characters say, and then because there are a lot of them, like Isaac and stuff, is like, yo, this government's horrible and all that, and then you see Bradley and they call him Führer, and it's just, and it's just like, it puts into your head, like, it's like this crazy juxtaposition. It's like, are these the good guys or the bad guys? And you have Ed, he just does not care. He's basically a dog for the government. It all paints a really grand and detailed, vivid picture of, at least from like a general perspective, kind of the climate of the world at this point, and the government, and how the Ishvalan War has affected everything. And the government is still reeling from it. They're still recovering and trying to pick up the pieces in this aftermath of this insane, horrifying war, which we'll definitely learn about in the future. Oh, for sure. And I can't wait. But yeah, you've seen the original FMA, right?
Yes, sir.
So you know a little bit about the world state at this point? Like, what do you remember?
Oh man, it's been so long. But what I remember is that there was some war, and Ishvalans were involved, and I think it had something to do with the government and something along those lines. I know who we haven't seen that character yet, but the one named Scar with the scar on his face is basically the
Scar's
leader
great.
of that.
Used to have an action figure of Scar.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's cool. But I don't really remember so much from it. I remember like bits and pieces. It's just been so long. I do know that when it comes to Alphonse, different VA than the original one. That's obvious because the original person was 12 when he did the voice actor role, which is, when you think about it, is impressive. Like Alphonse, the original one in 2003, he was 12. And he sounded really good. And yeah, this one, I forget who does the voice, but it's obviously a woman. But they couldn't obviously reprise his role in that
Lady
role.
Gaga.
Yeah, that's right. J. Michael Tatum is fucking Scar.
Yep. J. Michael Tatum, man, he was like a big young and upcomer during this era. Like, he was just cast in like Black Butler and Spice and Wolf.
Oh my God. He he made a lot of no, I better not say. But a lot of ladies loved this man
God.
after Black Butler.
Remember in Black Butler when when they're like, I'm going to go stoop the maid, and he has sex with the maid. And he's like, CL, wait outside.
I
got business to take care of.
I've never seen Black Butler. All I know is that he's hot and women love his voice. Dude,
those original anime are wild. They don't follow the source material at all.
That's funny.
Well, I think going to what C was talking about with the world building, and this first episode setting the stage for how everybody views this war, which seems to be the central conflict with a lot of motivations that we're seeing. Even with Ed, who had a standoffish attitude towards what Isaac was trying to do in this episode, that in of itself tells you something about his involvement in the war, which is that he wasn't involved in it, so he doesn't really care too much about it. I mean, he's a young genius state alchemist who is on the come up, so he wasn't involved in it the way Roy was, who Isaac cited him as a war buddy. But it also, this first episode tells you how the public views State Alchemist, because Maze has a scene where he's showing concern over Ed and Al because of their connection to the military and how people view the military. And this is in their home country. So the fact that people would look at them not as heroes but as military dogs, that tells you that whatever went down in that war wasn't good.
Right.
Yeah, something specifically with the military, some controversial decision was made, no doubt. Because I mean,
Oh yeah.
think about most societies in our world today.
Right.
Most societies, or I'll say countries, that may be a better way to look at it. A lot of them take a lot of pride in their military, like South Korea, as an example. It's like mandatory to be in the military. In America, you have support your troops and all that, and it's interesting. I think definitely to keep your eye on.
Sure. And we also see what we've already known, that Edward and Alphonse, towards the end, committed the greatest sin, and Alphonse lost his whole body, while Edward lost his arm, and pretty sure it was his leg too.
Arm and
Even though in the
leg.
No,
flashback they didn't show.
no. So okay, so Al lost. I don't want to really want to. I don't want to go like talking past episode 1, but it was shown briefly.
Yeah.
Ed lost his arm or his leg with the human transmutation. He
Mhm.
lost the other limb trying to get Al's soul back.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, I won't skip too far ahead, but I just know when it comes to that episode, it sets the tone for the rest of the series. It's a really good episode, very heartbreaking too. But yeah, we did see a brief bit of that, and interesting. It's a cool little twist too, because I think that's what I really liked about Fullmetal Alchemist, is because you see this giant tank of an armor hulking looking being, and it's nothing's in there. It's just a soul, and the soul is that of his younger brother, who sounds just like this innocent.
Yeah, sweet.
The
little
real
kid.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Right. This innocent child, whereas he's very sweet and everything. He's like, oh well, I'm not the full met. You want to talk to my younger or my older brother who's shorter, and don't you call don't you
Don't
call
call him
Edward a
short.
pipsqueak or short. He gonna lose his shit.
It reminded me of the thing that reminded me of that in the One Piece live action was when Buggy came out and they talked about his nose. Same dynamic. I love it when a character has that like insecurity and gets up in arms about it. It's just so endearing. It's so funny. And I do love how everyone's like, Al is the Full Metal Alchemist. No way this shorty could be the Full Metal Alchemist. Come on now.
I mean, it makes sense.
It's in the name, Full Metal.
Right. And I think that's what's so good about it, is that it's such a detractor where you really think, oh, like the image, Full Metal Alchemist. It's that fucking guy. This big, brooding, all in armor. That's the Full Metal Alchemist. It makes sense. I would think that. But it's not. And I love that twist.
Yeah, it's also could possibly be a unique advantage for him in the future, with opponents maybe over or underestimating him based on his stature, and having that belief that maybe the big suit of armor is the Full Metal Alchemist, and maybe he'll use that to his advantage. Who knows?
Well, we have already seen their bodies being used as an advantage with this Isaac thing specifically,
Yes,
because Isaac has and I also find this pretty cool too. The power system with different alchemists having like a basically like a major um now they all can do kind of this similar things. So on the base level they're the same, but some people have their own specialty. And with Isaac, he has water alchemy. So we saw that he was able to touch people and basically boil their blood and just kill them with a touch. So he tried to use that on Ed and Al, and he ends up touching the arm of Al, which is all metal, and then of course Al doesn't have a body, so that didn't affect him.
Yeah, I liked that he could both freeze people and boil them because it's just a liquid. And you could do both, freeze and boil it. And the fact he can use his own blood to kind of like shoot spears out of himself and like stick people, which I very creative. Definitely the fighting's creative.
And one thing that I really like about the alchemy power system is that whenever they use their powers, they're never creating anything. They don't create water out of thin air. They don't create fire out of thin air. It's well, in his case, he always needed water around him to do any of the things that he was doing. Like when he escaped, he had he has the transmutation circle on his written on his palm. He fell over on a puddle and then used the puddle to, use his powers. So it's always this idea of you can't it's like, Newton's law, like you can't create or destroy energy. You can
Right.
only like transform it. So that's what
Yeah.
the power system is based on.
By the way, worst cops ever. They they didn't stop to think, oh, there's a puddle there. La la la. Nope, nope. Oh, I feel this guy falling. Steam, and then he just fucking escapes.
Yeah, I
Oh
wonder
man.
how in the world how they kind of deal with that. Like, what if you're like, how do you act as a police officer in this government when you have consistently these whack jobs or just these out of control people with these insane alchemist powers? How do you regulate that? How do you make sure that doesn't get out of control? And like, what are the proper regulations for like a police officer to deal with something like that?
I mean,
Don't
they
fight
kind
them.
Probably, yeah.
there's that, but they also just had the guy in the cell where his hands were bound, and if he was to like touch hands or like do anything, he probably could have escaped. But I don't know. I would think he would need some sort of cuffs. But again, he fell onto water, so I don't know. Maybe you sew their hands together. I have no idea how you would control that.
Um,
It'd be hard. I'll tell you that.
that is what she said, EA.
That makes me long and hard.
I hate everything.
I mean, you walked into that. I don't know what you expected. So, like at the very end, we saw two figures. Those I won't name because they didn't name them in this episode.
I know
But
their names.
I may know their names. But they spoke about because Isaac fails, Bradley's kills him, and that ends that. And we see two figures who uh, talk about them giving him the Philosopher's Stone and how he's a disappointment. So there's some plan in the background. So this whole thing that he did wasn't only via his own will. It was willed by some other mysterious figures in the background for whatever reason we don't know. But uh, yeah, they seemingly are able to just give normal humans Philosopher's Stones, which we saw how powerful that ended up being.
Did you notice something about those last few scenes? Is the entire episode had a very blue kind of color tone to it, but those scenes had a very a color tone reminiscent to the reddish wine color of the Philosopher's Stone. Wonder what that could mean.
It
I
mean a
don't
lot
know,
of
but
things.
one of them had big boob.
Yeah,
Yep.
and voiced by Laura Bailey before she became a fucking worldwide sensation.
Yeah, Laura Bailey has the hottest voice in voice acting.
God, I love Laura Bailey. She can literally do anything. It's crazy. Her range.
Yeah.
I mean, her range isn't like.
Go somewhere else with that comment.
You're like, she could just spread them.
I was worried.
What? Wait. Why do you expect me to be the pervy one here?
No, I don't expect it. I know it's going to be there. I just know.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say anything, and move on. Yeah, no, I think Laura Bailey has one of the best ranges in anime and video game voice acting
Yeah,
to this day.
she's perfect.
She's great. It's not like she has a finite range. Don't get me wrong. There are definitely people that can outdo her a little bit, but holy crap, she's like a once in a lifetime kind of talent, and it's crazy that she was in this series. It's interesting looking back on her career trajectory, going from starting in Dragon Ball and doing anime, and then is now just to some degree too big for anime.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much. If you need a woman in a video game to do a voiceover for, she's usually the
yeah,
one.
Laura Bailey and Troy Baker in this
Oh
era
God,
were the two.
yes.
They were the 2
Hmm.
and a little bit of Nolan North. I think Nolan was a little bit into anime for a minute, but yeah, dude, just oh man, this cast is so good. Like, it kind of gives me goosebumps kind of talking about it, because it is the perfect cast for an anime in my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of those anime that's, dare I say it, the dub's better than the sub.
I think it was like this era's Cowboy Bebop. I think Cowboy
For
Bebop
sure.
is obviously, that's a much more difficult series to voice act for, but I think if every 10 years you get some really amazing dub, and this was one of them. I think another one ironically is Fruits Basket. I think that one was a really great dub too, and that had Laura Bailey as well.
Mm. Reading a little bit of the chat, Dandadan Media says, I remember the first time I watched the episode, I was shocked Edward almost tried to beat up the little girl for calling him a pipsqueak. I mean, his mom probably told him, pick on someone your own size, and he decided to follow that
Yeah, it's
that ideal.
his fault for being a shorty. She go hang out with Levi in the losers corner.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
Bunch of
God.
losers.
I thought it was really cool how Edward can manipulate metal on a molecular level.
Yeah,
That was
Uh,
pretty cool.
I think I agree with Satsuki in terms of the way they use the alchemist powers, the law of equivalent exchange, and how that allows for so much creativity. I love that stuff.
yeah, it's really cool because it's always like this cool detail whenever like they touch the ground and they use this a lot where they use the ground as like a platform. What you always notice is when they create like these big steps, the ground under them, they take from the ground to to use as material. It's almost like some Fortnite type of thing,
Mhm.
they never just create something out of thin air,
Yeah,
which I think is really
Yeah,
cool.
and that's why I think they had such a great concept for those first two PS2 games they did for Full Metal. I thought that was such a great concept for a video game, and I wish and I hope maybe in the future one day, if this series ever gets some sort of renaissance after the fact, we get another video game, because imagine with the technology we have now, what a Full Metal video game would look like with these powers.
that'd be crazy. Crazy, crazy. Just Edward just has a pickaxe and starts hitting wood and trees.
It's Minecraft. I'm Steve.
Yeah, he just starts dancing. Do the orange justice.
I think that's about it. I think we talked about everything there is to talk about.
Well, we have the scenes with the family.
The
Oh, the
Mafia
maze,
family?
the maze scene.
Yeah, the Maze family. That was those characters are going to be. They seem way too nice for this world so far. Like, so far, I think this episode kind of painted the picture of a world divided, and a world going through a lot of turmoil and division and all that. And you have the Maze, who are this kind of anomaly almost, where they're extremely positive people and they're so helpful. And
Get back in the kitchen, dear.
and they just have such a chemistry with one another. They really do feel like a family, and I think they're probably one of the most notable anime families because everyone knows about them. They're so positive, they're so happy, and they kind of have that, I don't know, that positive dynamic. They bring a little bit of levity to the series. They're kind of like the Sasha Browse of FMA in many ways.
Oh, Sasha.
I actually do have a question for you guys.
Gone too soon. Oh, yeah.
In my Discord server, Billy brought up a question, or rather brought up something interesting. He said that because this first episode is anime original, that they should have made the first episode into a movie. What do you guys think about that?
No.
Yeah, it's no.
They did this episode like this with a purpose in mind. I read the manga, so with knowing like how the whole story developed, they did this episode with the purpose of kind of, I don't want to say it, but this episode just means a lot more once you're finished with the series. Isaac's ideals, how he reacts to things, even like his interaction with Kimberly. It means a lot, and I think it's good in a vacuum. I don't think a movie is the right thing, like a whole different plot, because this was supposed to be basically a hint towards things in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was perfect.
Didn't they make a couple of Fullmetal Alchemist movies?
Yeah.
For the original series, yes.
Yeah, and they were basically just originals. They had nothing to do with the manga or anything, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, yeah, no.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen those.
All right.
Nah.
Well, any final thoughts on the first episode?
Is nice. I think it definitely goes to show, because you brought it up earlier, C, where you said this is made in 2009. It still looks great. I always say if an anime is made, they should go all out and spare no expense. Because if they know they got a good story and they know they got something that's going to be remembered for years, just do it. And look at Full Metal Alchemist. 15 years later, and it still looks fucking great. It's better than some shit that you would see now.
Yeah, the art direction for Brotherhood is just, even in the original FMA. Original FMA is in 4x3, and it still looks great.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be like this forever, I think. I think in the future, these two separate series, Brotherhood and FMA, are going to be remembered for a very long time and going to be celebrated for a very long time. For sure.
Sure.
Oh, very good first episode to set the stage. Oh, Pepper Storm did say, Al writing a list of what he wants to eat when he gets his body back. Yeah, very cool running thing in the show.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's talk about Oshi no Bro. You guys.
I have thoughts.
You guys.
last episode.
Last episode of the season. There's so much to say about this episode. I watched this episode twice because I wanted to experience it alone and with a group of people.
You just wanted to see that kiss twice.
You're right. Wait, what was the kiss? Wait, who
Wait,
kissed again?
I thought you were the Akane fan though. Wouldn't you want to see it twice?
I'm not saying I didn't. No, but yeah, this episode is very interesting to say the least, and I know you have thoughts, Sasuke. But I also have thoughts. I think a lot of us are gonna have some thoughts with this one, but
I'll start out
wow.
with something that I thought was a nice surprise. They didn't have to do it, and it's totally harmless fun. But the MV at the very end, the Poppin' 2, I thought that was pretty cute. And it was definitely unneeded. And I think they did it because they were like, holy crap, this episode was dark. And they needed something to give fan service to someone out there. And I just can't get over the fact that Mim Cho is 25. It's crazy. You grow up so fast.
But the music video was nice and it was cute and everything, but I thought it was funny how we see Ruby with her dark, sadistic eyes the whole time trying to be cute. And maybe, I don't know if it was intentional or if it was on purpose, but I noticed that when they were filming or editing those scenes together in music video, you saw the darkness in her eyes, but then you saw some moments where she still had that light. So it was almost as if you could see when it was filmed and when she was kind of, I don't know, she got that darkness in her. So I was like, oh, that's a nice little attention to detail right there.
What kind of darkness? We're talking about the night darkness or talking about depression darkness?
No. We're talking about the band that believes in a thing called love, darkness.
Oh, dang. Just listen
No.
to the rhythm of my heart.
There's a chance we can make it now.
We'll be rocking till the
Sun goes down.
down.
But yeah, Ruby kind of got interestingly, well, not interesting, but it was just more. She now has the same thing that Aqua had, basically in the first season, where she wants revenge now. And
Didn't somebody predict that in the show?
Nah, I don't think that happened.
Okay. I thought when I was watching this episode, I was like, somebody. I thought somebody said that like at some point, Aqua's revenge is going to transfer over to Ruby.
Nah, that wasn't anybody, right, Sasuke?
Yeah, I don't remember that taking place.
Oh, maybe it's just been a video I watched or something, or maybe Dan said it. Dandadan said it.
But yeah, basically because Aqua's over here macking on Akane, and then Ruby's like, "You killed my senpai, Doctor. I will have my revenge." And yes, we get to see future Lolly or Raven Lolly in this series, and I think I agree with you. See, I know this is a series about, people getting reincarnated and everything, but I feel like there's just some things that if you get a little too weird, it kind of like makes it a little like that realm of believability becomes kind of weird, and then like almost you believe anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, what's the one thing I always say about the show constantly? It's got 12 different plots.
Oh,
going
you say that
simultaneously.
that Kana is red.
Con is
That's what
very
you
red.
say.
That's another thing I always say. Oh, which by the way, you got to bring back up Kana
No!
for the good times.
Don't put her back.
Why not? You know what? I'll bring up the Pepper Kana too. We need Pepper Kana.
Please remove her whenever we're done talking about the series.
So I want to jump in on about the goddess thing. I may know Uzume. So I don't think it's the existence of the god that I dislike. I it's more so how it moves the story forward.
Yeah, I know where you're
And
going.
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, so like this is the big thing in the episode. I kind of didn't want to go here this early, but it's not that much I want to talk about. But with Ruby basically inheriting Aqua's revenge quest and, taking in the edginess and the darkness, all of this happened in one episode. Now, it has been brewing as to like her finding out about Amamiya's death and things of that nature. But everything comes to a head because out of nowhere, Ame no Uzume comes and basically drops hints to Ruby about, hey, did you know that Amamiya died or disappeared around the same time your mom gave birth? Hey, there was this guy who was talking to the stalker right before well, not right before he killed him, but there was somebody talking to the stalker, and later he killed your mom. That's kind of weird. I kind of just don't like how she was given that information. Because whereas Aqua, it happened like right in front of him, so things kind of develop naturally like that. Ruby is just kind of told the information, and then it's like, all right, now you turn into Aqua, and then basically that's what happens. Now Aqua's on the path to where he wants to live a semi-normal life, and Ruby is on a revenge quest, or at the very least wanting Aqua to be on a revenge quest, because I thought she was going to like take the mantle, but she had a comment saying that uh, she still, or she still thinks that Aqua is looking for revenge. So I guess there's going to be some conflict there. But yeah, it's not the goddess itself that I dislike. It was kind of just the purpose of, because I thought leading Ruby to the body was fine, but I thought from that point it was going to lead Ruby into finding out things on her own, or at least being curious about finding things on her own, which she was doing a little bit with probing the Kane with information or about some things about, why does my brother want to act in the first place when I know he doesn't really like it? But it was kind of like, hey, just take revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really was like that.
I don't like to like kind of double up with Satsuki here. I don't like that at all. But to add on to that, I would
Double
say,
up.
yeah, I would say, I don't like it. It kind of gamifies it a little bit. It's like, all right, you're the one who's, who's the other person? Oh, aren't you supposed to find out? And it lessens it because it makes it feel like it's all predetermined, like they're in this giant rat race. And she's literally a god playing it kind of like a game.
And what's her purpose?
Yeah, and what is the end goal of her doing that? I guess that's the big question, right? And we'll have to see. So I guess, to be fair, we'll wait that out. But
She just likes to stroke birds.
yeah, it's just like I don't understand the purpose of this character. I don't know what this adds to it. It's same thing with like the reincarnation stuff almost. Like I don't know what this adds to it. I like it. I think I would like it more if it was just unexplained, like everything else. You don't need the shaman or the wizard at the end to to beat the bad guy to beat or whatever. It's a little too much, I think. And I think there's a potential for it to kind of backfire. Yet at the same time, if he is able to pull this off, it's going to be fucking awesome. But still, it's I'm of many minds about it, because I think there's so much stuff going on in this series that it's just I don't know when this character showed up and you saw her introduced as a god. Did any of you guys go, oh crap, now I really gotta watch Oshi no Ko every week?
Of course. That's the first thing I said when I seen her. I went,
when
wow.
I said
What I wanted.
I need the body pillow, I need the curtains, I need everything stat.
Oh god, you guys are those kinds of people.
But no, absolutely not.
Now, that being said, I like some of the stuff she said in here. I like the fact that there are two murderers. I think that adds something to the plot. I don't know if you needed a god to tell you that.
Well,
And I like
I've
kind of the allusions to the life as a stage kind of thing. I always love that. Always love that theme.
I think she was alluding to with there was another person there. She was alluding to Aqua's and Ruby's father, you know, being there when it happened, obviously pushing him to kill I.
Which, by the
Oh,
way,
that's right. I'm fucking stupid.
Did they say that he was a middle schooler?
They said middle school age, yeah, and that's what.
So
So
Aqua be
okay,
fucking a middle schooler? I mean, not Aqua, I.
well, no, because she was 15, so like the ages would be fine. She was 15 when she was pregnant.
Oh God.
So
Did-
then,
Did
But here's
this has
but here's the
okay.
here's the
Sorry.
problem with him being middle school. It's not I that's the problem. It's the fact that he had another they have an older sibling. So that means he had a kid earlier?
I forgot about that too.
That's the problem I'm having right
So
now.
he was 12 when he
Dude,
became a dad.
he's out there, man.
This guy has had some. He's been fucking anything that walks.
He heard he saw Vince McMahon and he was like, I'm gonna show who's the real genetic jackhammer.
No chance if that's what you got. Fuck. But you're right. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, she was. So I wonder how old the other mother was, because they've seemed pretty old. So this,
Yeah,
crazy.
I really want to see more of this guy. This guy's really compelling just from like on paper. I actually don't like his design at all. I think he looks
just like Aqua.
just like Aqua.
You
I
don't think
like
he looks cool?
He does
you
not
see the
look
fur?
cool.
He looks just like Aqua.
He's imposing on paper, but like when you look at him, it's like he's a pretty boy. Fuck him.
He looks like a coward.
He does. He kind of looks like a coward. I mean, he killed that girl at the very end.
Yeah, which
Who was that girl?
I don't know what that is about. I don't know if that's another like daughter or another.
This was a daughter I had when I was 7.
I don't know
why
who
are
that
we going
was.
to this cliff? This is a weird spot for us to reunite.
This is how he kills everybody. He just pushes them off the same fucking cliff.
One of the bodies just like stack on the other ones, and the person lives because of it. Should have cleaned that out.
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually real comfy. What is? Oh, it's a bunch of bodies. Oh, damn.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I don't know if I appreciate him all that much. It's very hard to. The guy's fucking crazy. But yeah, it's very interesting. Why is he going around killing so many people? Do you think he like gets off to it or something? Like, is there a goal behind it? Is like what?
I mean,
is the end
I have
here?
absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea.
And it also it just once again, I think the God thing kind of hampers this too, because it's like she knows about everything probably, and it's just kind of like, I'm a god, we're playing a game. God, but I don't know. I'm compelled with the whole dad murder thing. That's really interesting.
when I saw the Griffin store said, I think it's referencing the Ame no Uzume thing. When I saw that, I ordered an Oshi no Ko poster to put next to my Morbius one.
Oh my god.
Well, okay, so not talking about Aqua Ruby's dad or Goddess Lollies. How do we feel about the other big thing that happened in the episode?
The Akane.
The
Aqua.
Akane for the win!
the kiss her around the world.
The Aquane.
Wait. EA, do you want the good or bad news first?
There's only good news.
Oh, it is?
What bad news is there?
Okay. Since you asked. This is not like a fact or anything, of course. This is just how I feel about it. I think if you are a Kane fan and you've been pushing for the ship, you should be very worried. I know this is like the time to celebrate because of what happened, but I think you should be very worried because of how things are developing.
EA in the middle of his yippee went from yippee.
I'm so harrowed.
That's why I said, do we want the celebration first or what? Because here's how I look at it. Aqua is ready to move on, and he's thinking about things, in a happy manner for once. Like he's on a good trajectory. But because Akane has this knowledge that his father is still alive, now the existence of the father enough was already going to be enough to kind of shake things as they are. But specifically because she knows and is not going to tell him, now is going to be because she wants to be with him. And she doesn't want him to chase after him and, maybe use her again or forsake their relationship, because if he's going to go for revenge, he's kind of going to shut everything out. So since she knows that, and it seems, is it going to tell him? Because we had a time skip at the end. She isn't going to tell him. That's going to end up being a very bad thing later on. So I don't think
You can just plead ignorance.
Hello,
You
love
just
of
go-
my life.
She just goes,
the foundation
What'd you
of this couple is built on
Yeah.
lies.
It is.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. She could just lie.
That's the first thing I caught on to in this scene. I was like, oh no. First of all, she says at the very beginning, basically, like, I bonded with you and related to you over your trauma because I have trauma too, which isn't good already, but okay, whatever. Benefit of
You're
the
two
doubt.
peas in a pod.
They are two peas in a pod. We'll give them that, okay? Maybe
We're
it works
fucked
out.
up together.
Yeah.
You and me.
Yeah, they can work
yeah.
through it. They're in the entertainment industry. They're smart people, right? Okay, cool. But do we really think Aqua's just gonna let this go when it inevitably comes back up? No,
No, he's gonna let it go.
as soon as Ruby
He doesn't
does
have the things in
something,
his eye.
says something, holds up the keychain, whatever, that's gonna be the trigger.
Oh yeah.
Aqua
That
is going
keychain.
to immediately tunnel vision right back to where he was before, because he didn't resolve anything with this. He thinks he did. He thinks this is resolution. But it's all so freaking obvious that he just doesn't realize. That's the kernel that will keep him from staying on this path. He's like a druggie. He needs his revenge. He needs it.
It's what Akane said a couple episodes ago. Aqua isn't thinking about this whole thing too hard. He kind of gave up on his quest for revenge and not thinking about it hard anymore, because it's like he sees an easy option in front of him. He sees an option to kind of let things go and
She's a
just
way
be
out.
happy for once. Yeah, she's his escape route. And because she's his escape route, he's not dealing with, like what she said, he's not dealing with his problem.
He needs his
on-
happiness. He deserves
Well, yeah,
happiness.
he's going to get his temporary happiness, but I think this
He
may
needs a
end
break.
up.
He's got
Yeah.
it.
But I think this may end up damaging their relationship in the long run. That's not to say it's going to like damage it to the point of no return, or to the point that they won't ever be cordial or friendly with each other, because they'll always have a deep respect for each other. But in terms of a relationship sustaining, I can't see it. Especially because Kana is still in the picture.
Yeah.
I was this close to holding your hand, Akane. This close. And you lied to me.
these are the kinds of things that eat people alive. In what way would a relationship help any of that? It just amplifies things.
It'll make it better when they have a baby.
Oh
No, that's horrible advice. That's like the worst advice you can get.
That's some. Okay. Akane and Aqua are gonna make separate Reddit posts. I'm telling you. And then all the comments are gonna be like, "You should divorce him, queen," and the other one's gonna be like, "You should divorce this lady. She's crazy." It's gonna happen.
Girl, you need to get yourself a better man. Ditch the zero. Get with the hero.
The dudes Reddit is gonna be like the dudes off on a train. In Madoka Magica. Yeah. I would have just dumped that bitch.
I would have been like, bitch, you better have my money because I'm gonna dump your ass and smack you because I'm a pimp. Yeah.
I tell a hoe like this. Either you sucking dick or you sucking dick.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Aqua made the one rule. Cortana said it all the time in Halo. Chief, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. And he can't keep that promise. And then Chief said,
I'm going to kill the Covenant.
Cortana, give me my gun. I don't fucking... Time to
Did
roll
you even
out.
hear what I said, Chief? Oh, here's your fucking gun.
Cortana, give me a burger. Double.
Coming up. This is why we don't talk anymore.
So, how do we think Kana is? Because, it's been half a year, and if things have been going well with Akane and Aqua, how do we think Kana is going to... Okay, let me not ask that because we know that she is going to move on, but like,
yeah, she's gotta.
What's the thought process of Kana in all of this?
She's a lesbian now.
Oh no!
Just dating Meme-chan now.
Oh my god! Yep. Mimcho is in that weird demon form she was in for half of the episode. That weird ghost blob thing.
I could
Kana
just see
just
that.
takes one look at her. Just goes,
"Hi, Aqua. Look who I'm with. It's Mimcho.
Hey, is that
how's you and Akane?
Is that 25-year-old?
She's not 25. Shut the fuck up.
Wait, she might be 26 now.
Oh yeah, she's getting older by the minute.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Poor Mimcho. Dude, we're gonna have some like. I was thinking about it in this episode. I'm like, we're gonna have like a Mimcho arc, and it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be like one of the best. Things.
Yeah, they don't focus on that character, but she's been around enough to where it's like she's just waiting for her opportunity to do something.
I cannot wait to hear about.
It's probably going to actually be good.
I know.
That's the funny part.
There's no way it could be bad. It's got to be good. It's Mimcho. She's become a meme within of itself. I want a show just for her. Oshi no Cho.
I like how towards the end of this episode she literally is nothing but a white mob blowy mob.
Yeah, moe blob.
That's what I was trying to say.
What was the point of that? Like, she was in that like for majority of the episode.
I think she was just exhausted.
She was in the van. She was a blob. On set, she was a blob.
Maybe the writing's on the wall for her. Maybe she's like, fuck, I'm getting old.
Industry. It's Hollywood, man.
But they got a little bit of popularity because of that music video.
Yeah,
it looked like they were on some like morning news station just talking about their shit.
Yeah. I'll say as well. I love how jaded Kana is about the industry. How she's like, oh, I had to film like a summer catalog in like the winter or whatever. So he's wearing like bikini and like freezing cold.
Ooh.
Yeah, it makes you think because that's not something that I really think about when it's just like one of those again, like uh going behind the scenes type of thing and kind of bringing it to the public view because it's not like again, it's not like information that we wouldn't know, but it's stuff that you don't really think about.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, like when they make all those Hallmark Christmas movies that come out every November, December, they film that shit in the summer.
Yep.
Every single movie.
Yep. On a sound stage.
Yep. Where it's the same fucking story every fucking movie where it's she's a hardworking woman. She gets fired. She moves out to the country, meets the man of her dreams. And now
He's the old
he's
man from
secure.
NegaPosi Angler.
Can't wait to talk about that later. But he's the man of her dreams. She's a business lady, and he's a country boy. Yeah, it's the same fucking movie
Yeah,
every
it's
season.
got some Kid Rock or country song or something in it. Some Hardy song.
Old Kid Rock, not new Kid Rock.
Hardy's pretty good though. I will mess with Hardy. He's not bad.
No. But what was I gonna say? Light roller, no. Kana's not gonna get with you. And if she does,
you're going to prison.
where is the alarm? Where's the FBI open up? But
I like speaking of Kana, I like when they were in. Okay, hold on, let me rephrase this.
no. Continue what you were gonna say. Finish that sentence.
I liked when Kana mentioned that Akane got this movie, and Kana was like, "Oh man, I'm so envious of you," and Akane's like, "Oh well, you know, it's just a whatever movie," and Kana's like, "No, that's a big deal. Like, that means you're moving up, and just because it's like a small little thing, and that's still a big move, and that really puts into perspective, I think, kind of how important it is to have those incremental steps, how valuable those things are, and how another person can envy them, whereas you could be miserable as fuck about them. I read this book often. It's called Art and Fear, and it brings up this same thing. And I always love the artist mentality and how like we could always do more to make our lot in life better, yet we're always doing our best already. It's like this incongruency, this thing that keeps us from just accepting how great life is. And I think Akane is a true artist in that sense. She doesn't see it because she's living in the moment, right? So
Right. I feel like those are perfectionists too. Like people who kind of are like built differently and they just have something where people are like, wow, that's absolutely amazing. In their own minds, they're like, nah, that was shit.
yeah,
It's crazy.
it's funny.
Michael
you say
Jackson,
that.
yeah, Michael Jackson made some of the most amazing
Right.
music in the
He's a
world,
great
and
example.
he was like, nah, it could be better.
Yeah,
It could be a little better.
I mean, even in my own life, I kind of get that a lot too. I mean, obviously, I've done nothing, even a fraction as important as Michael Jackson did, but like a lot of people tell me that all the time. They're like, your videos are really good, and I'm like, no. What are you talking about? These are shit. Like my Dandadan video, it got like a lot of views or whatever, and a lot of people are like, oh man, your scripting is so great, like subscribe. And in my head and in my heart, I'm like, guys, this is like one of the worst videos I ever put out. What the hell are you talking about? This isn't good. This could be way better. So
You could say it's bad but bad. I'm sorry. Instead, it's good.
listen, EA, you know what you need?
Save
Yeah, what?
him. Save him. Save him.
What is good, Ellie?
Hello, Ellie.
You need saving. Yeah, hello, Ellie. Do you like what's on the stream right now? Do you like what you're seeing? You see Kana
He doesn't.
dancing. Kana's great.
He does.
National treasure.
Well, we talked. I, I thought it was funny how Akane kind of like let it slip that her and Aqua aren't fake dating anymore to Kana. Where she was
Yeah.
like, where
And then
Kana,
she went, huh?
yeah, I
She
forgot what
re-
Kana said to her.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was in response to something Kana said, and I don't
Yeah,
remember what Kana said.
Kana said, you know, you're gonna have to something about like a reality TV show dating.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you're gonna have to like, when are you gonna stop reality TV show dating? And then
Mhm.
she said, it's no longer a reality, or it's no longer fake. It's more real. And she just went, huh? As her towel fell off her head, plop into the to the spot.
Yeah, I think this is some of the best news that Kana has ever gotten in her life, and I don't think she realizes it at all. Like, geez, she is.
Yeah, she dodged a bullet.
She is dodging machine gun fire. And
When
RPGs.
you put it like that, that is true. She hasn't really experienced any of the like the negative parts of being with Aqua, or what would be the negative parts of being with Aqua.
But
And it's
Sasuke,
like,
it's a
they
mirror.
played baseball together.
yeah, that was like the like that's the negative moment.
Yeah, it's a mirror of what Kana just said to Akane about being envious of the movie. She's envious of her being with Aqua. So it goes both ways. Except I think in this instance... Well, no, it's the same. It's the exact same. Kana doesn't realize that she has it good. And Akane is going to one day be envious of Kana.
Akane is like Aqua's dating training arc right now.
Yeah.
Like his hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah. Yeah, Kana needs to get over Aqua. Aqua is what's the word?
He's a dork.
Damaged goods. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's
It would be interesting if she was dating someone else by now, because you would think like with her, she doesn't have to because she's an idol, so like that's already something that she kind of is going to be deterred away from. So if she wasn't dating anybody, I could understand it, but at the same time, like these are teenagers we're dealing with. You know, you would think that if the person you had a crush on wasn't available for 6 months and they were dating someone steadily, you would probably move on by then.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
see, you were clicking that button earlier, save him. That's why Kana wants to stick with Aqua, because she feels like she can save him.
She doesn't even know that he needs saving.
Yeah.
That's true. Because
She knows no
she-
intimate
I
details.
think
she
Akane
did
feels that way more. I think Akane feels she can save Aqua.
That's true. Because Kana, you know, mopey, edgy Aqua was normal to her. And as soon as he was like happy, she's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Who is this man? What have you done with Aqua?
Yeah, I feel like Kana's image of Aqua is just a shy, quiet boy who's like, once she gets in
That
there
plays
and
catch.
gets him to open up, finally the bright young man will come out and it'll all be great. But it's just not that way. He's a 50-year-old man on the inside. He's experienced
Literally.
unforgivable trauma throughout his entire existence in both lives. This guy doesn't need Kana. He needs
Therapy.
He needs therapy. He needs help. He needs
No, he
to
needs
cope.
another life. That's it.
Oh, did he just needs to
give him
get
one
pushed
more.
off again?
No, to get one more. Third time's a charm.
All right, hold on. I'm going to get reincarnated again. Ah, damn it.
Then he gets the classic anime MC backstory where both of his parents die in an accident.
Right. And instead of being on Earth, he's I forget the
Mooding.
name of
He turns into
No.
Mooding.
No, not
Plump and wet.
Mooding. He's in the world where Konosuba is. And he
That's what
meets the
yeah.
other Aqua.
Oh no. It's Kazuma.
He's like, oh my god, no. This is the worst hell I could have ever imagined.
I should have respected Akane much more than this. She was way better, and she was no doubt still batshit crazy.
And she was a real one. She was gonna bury a body.
Yeah, Akane, she may be crazy, but she's a real one. That's for sure. That is for sure. You could trust her. You could trust her in a bank robbery, or like at that in GTA 5 when you got to go to the heist. You know, she's one of the. You're picking her.
Yeah.
But you give her like no cut of the money.
Yeah.
You're okay with this, Akane, right? It's okay.
You need it more.
You know, God bless and all. Just looking out for you, thinking about you.
Those heists always used to be funny playing on GTA Online. Whenever they would whenever they would decide to cut for everybody. Because it would be a lot of times where people weren't getting their 20% and they would immediately quit out.
Oh. Terrible.
Good time.
Yeah, there was like a good solid, I don't know, 6 months where GTA Online was really great, and then it just became 12-year-olds driving around killing everyone. Then hover vehicles. then
My
tanks.
KD.
Oh my god. Imagine caring about KD in GTA. That's crazy. That's wild. It's a non-factor in Call of Duty in this day and age. Jesus.
Well, I guess that was it. That's the last episode. We hyped for season 3, boys.
I'm excited. I am definitely looking forward to it. I'm tempering.
Let's see the
my
hypometer.
expectation. Yeah, I give it a quack. I give it 2 quacks.
2 quacks. Here we
give
go.
it 2. Yeah, I give it 2. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
How many quacks do you give it, Sasuke?
2.
All right, I will also give it 2 quacks as well. So, this is definitely the best season. It had one of the best arcs. First season, I didn't know what to think of, but they definitely redeemed themselves with this season. Season 3, I think, to be quite honest, is either going to make or break the series. I really think that that's what's going to happen.
Probably because like I feel like the direction right now is I'm unsure of where we're going to go.
Shaky. I feel shaky on it.
With this Ruby stuff, I'm like really worried about it. Like right now is good, obviously. It's nothing to really complain about. We had our complaints about this episode, but as far as the story and totality, it's fine. But it could we see where it can get bad.
For sure.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see
We made it another season.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. And it's probably going to be a movie or something, which I will probably undoubtedly go see with my mother.
Gotta take him. She'd be so fucking confused at that point. It's like, wait, what? They're twins. They're reincarnated, and one's 50, the other, huh? Explain.
Is this Groundhog's Day?
Also, why does that guy look like Aqua's father, but also looks like Aqua?
Yo,
Why is Mimcho 26?
That's the first thing she notices. Hey, that Mimcho, she looks in her mid-20s. I kind of like Mimcho. We actually went to go see Look Back on Sunday, and she really enjoyed that one too. She didn't like reading the subtitles for this one. It was difficult for her. She's not used to it at all, so of course she would hate it. But yeah, she liked it. So I think my mother is becoming an anime fan. We'll see. Still, her favorite film that she has seen of anime is Demon Slayer Mugen Train. That's her favorite. She loves Tanjiro.
He's best boy.
He is. He's Tangerine.
She's gonna love the movies when they eventually come out.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. But it is time Let's get into our first new show of the season, y'all. Rurouni Kenshin. Season 2. We're in the Kyoto arc. This first episode clearly has way better production value than season 1. I already love it. I love this episode. This is one of my favorite episodes of the series so far, believe it or not.
Wow. Right off the gate.
Yep.
Yeah. It's welcome back to the old crew, the old gang. We got everybody in here, including Odo himself.
And Kaoru's depressed. She's in her depressed arc.
Yeah, she's depressed, but then Megumin kind of had to wake her up a bit by saying what she said.
Yep.
And freaking Yahiko stepping up a bit, being almost kind of like the man of the house or the leader of the group in a way, you know, even though they're all older than him, he definitely took command and was just like, you know, let's do this shit. Come on. No time to be sad and whatever, but
He shows a lot of heart.
yeah. Yeah, Kaoru was definitely depressed. Why? Because he said it to my face. He said
girl.
goodbye to my face.
Gotta pour one out for Kaoru.
Oh, that's gotta sting. He said goodbye to her face. But I love that just little subtlety with Megumin where as she was kind of like explaining to Kaoru and whatnot, gave her that pep talk, at least you got a goodbye. I love when she said that because basically what that means is she got diddly squat and you could tell that she was upset by that because she didn't show Kaoru crying, but basically she just, you know, walked out of the dojo and just broke down because of how much that meant to her.
Yeah, Sasuke, how do you feel about Megumi and her lot in this episode? Are you gonna intervene?
I love my wife. That's it.
Okay. That's his wife.
Yeah.
Was
And
she your
Yaiko's my son.
what was she your wife last season?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I put that in the notes.
I'm just saying. I think Kaoru got more of the glow up than Megumi. I think Megumi kind of looks more of the same, whereas Kaoru looks glamorized a little bit.
Oh, she was just crying.
That could have been it too. You know how
Well,
anime is.
This whole episode was about everybody who was left behind, trying to put themselves together to chase after Kenshin. So you know, with Kaoru, Megumi, Yaiko, we got what we got, but it seemed like the focal point was Sonosuke, who
He got his ass handed to him.
I know they tried to make it. They tried to give him a consolation prize by showing his resilience and him saying, which I thought like that was like his only good point, where he said Saito wasn't as always strong as he was, and he got stronger. You know, when he was a military officer. Like I thought that was a good point, but Saito's just like, you're too weak. If you go to Kyoto, you're going to slow Kenshin down because you're probably going to be used as a hostage or something like that, and you're going to be his weakness. Which, I mean, you can call him an asshole, whatever you want to say. He has a point.
Mm-hmm.
He has a point. That's a great point. Kenshin can't fight to the best of his abilities because if you guys are caught in a cross, we've literally seen this before. Kaoru got taken hostage, and that was the only reason why he was struggling with one of his opponents. That's it. So you guys are a weakness for him. Now, you know, of course, Sonosuke resents that and doesn't want to be a weakness, for Kenshin, so he wants to, develop himself to being an asset, so he can be a part of that group that fights in Kyoto. But as of right now, I mean, man, this dude beat you at your own thing. He put his sword down and said, "Let's just box," and beat the fuck out of you. Just said, all right. I've never boxed a day in my life. It just beat your ass.
Yeah. And really the only thing that Sanosuke really did was, he had that hard head that kind of like was resilient for him in the past. And then he took both of his fists and kind of like did a clamp to the other guy's hand. And that was enough. He's like, I quit. I'm out of here, nerds. I'm gonna leave. If you're gonna slow him down, do you want to die in Kyoto? That's up to you. And he left. But you did see that it kind of made some kind of mark on him because he went for a cigarette. He couldn't even like grip his cigarette because it just dropped on the ground, and all he did was just go, bitch.
Didn't hurt. For real.
Didn't hurt. I just dropped it because I wanted to.
I'm actually about to quit smoking.
Right.
Just
I
had
don't
to
need
quit smoking. Yeah, I mean, they were showing that Sonosuke has potential to him to grow. He may have got his ass handed to him by Saito, but I guess we expect him to get stronger en route to Kyoto. But so Sonosuke is one thing. Yahiko and Kaoru going there, though, that's where I'm like, this doesn't seem like a good idea.
I'm gonna help.
I just don't, they say they want to bring back Kenshin, but I mean, he has a purpose. He's doing this for a reason. He isn't just going out to fight the fight. He's doing it because if he doesn't, a lot of people are going to die.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I necessarily agree with them trying to bring him back and them going to Kyoto in the first place. Because if anybody is going to be used as hostages or damsels in distress, it's going to be them. They just don't have the fighting power to fight back.
Satsuki, Yahiko has a kendo stick.
Listen, that's my son. Son, get your ass back in the house. You are not banging with these guys.
But Dad,
No.
they're gonna go on this cool adventure.
No. Hell no.
Oh, you never let me have fun. If I was Kenshin's dad, he would let me.
You got here.
I hate you.
I want to go buy morphine from Megumi.
Oh, that's fine. That's small. So.
I want to go buy morphine from Mom.
Mom, Dad's not letting me go to Kyoto to save Kenshin. Listen to your father, dear.
Take your morphine.
This is like a little snack.
Fine.
Morphine and cereal.
God, that's depressing.
And then Sonosuke borrowed funds from his friend that he's not going to pay back, which I thought was funny too.
Hey, he's a good friend. He helped him realize blowing shit up is not the way to go. So give me your money.
I don't know how much money he got from him, but I guess
like,
good on him.
Let's see. I got a couple bucks. Oh, and here's some bombs. I'm good at making those.
Like, I can't get a Snicker out of a vending machine with this shit.
Dude, just trade it for money, okay? I don't care.
They looked like the style hand grenades, like the Germans used.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I one detail I liked about what's his name? Katsuhiko, his bomb friend, is whenever he was fighting with Saito, I noticed that he was standing up and undercover, like with a bomb in his hand, like ready to blow Saito up at any time if things got too bad. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. And he didn't intervene. He let Saito do his thing. It's like he's getting his ass whooped. I'm probably not gonna benefit trying to blow him up, so I'm just gonna hang back.
Man, I loved him in this episode. I thought he was great. Just the fact that he talked about how you got to go for the enemy's vital weak points. You know, their big glowy spots, like in Lost Planet or video games in
Oh,
general.
you're talking about Saito, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I like that, and Sonosuke was like, "Fight me," like on level playing ground, and he did, and he still beat him up. But even then, at the very end of that fight, he took out the cigarette, and he couldn't even. He dropped it. His hands were.
He was
all fucked
quitting.
up.
He was quitting.
Yeah, he was quitting smoking.
That's those were his funny cigarettes.
I don't need that stuff. That's my Marigin. Minge.
Yeah, I loved that entire sequence with Sanosuke and Saito. I think it made him look like an imposing force that seemed like almost kind of like a gatekeeper towards Kyoto.
Yeah.
And I think it made Sanosuke look like someone who is potentially in the future worth it. Is Satsuki frozen?
No, I'm just.
No, he's there.
You're like perfectly still in that pose. That was incredible.
I'm thinking.
But yeah, no, it made Sonosuke, I think, in defeat, like a really good wrestling match. Like seeing like an AEW like Orange Cassidy wrestle Pac.
Yeah, or anything with Darby Allin.
Yeah, Darby. Yeah, it's like Darby and Cassidy are gonna lose, but them losing is gonna make them look amazing.
Yeah,
or like the Undertaker losing to the Undertaker is like a win.
Yeah, like that very famous match with him and Jeff Hardy in like the early 2000s,
Yeah,
and
the
this
ladder
was
match.
like the ladder match. You haven't broken me, Taker. I'm still standing. Yeah, and even Undertaker, who you thought was gonna whoop his ass because he was a heel at the time, couldn't even whoop him. He just held his hand up just to give him that respect, and then he left it down and walked away. that's
Yeah,
That's a really good example of putting it. And you could kind of put it in a video game perspective where at the beginning you're level 1, you have all shit moves, you don't have anything, and you take on level 10 like
level
this is going to be
mafia boss.
right, and it's going to be like the final boss at the end, but you face him right off the bat. Yeah, you're going to get your ass handed to you, but you inflict that one damage that does a little tick mark on the health meter, and you're just like, I'm gonna do more when I level up.
Yeah, it was a very compelling moment, and I think it did so much for really almost anyone involved with that moment. It was really good. Loved it. I think that's why it's my favorite episode so far. I have to go back, of course, but yeah, it's great. I loved it. It's a good first episode as well. To set the stage for Kyoto. Makes Kyoto seem like this fucking no man's land of just bombs going off and just tanks and war and like in the front of a war or something. So super excited.
The caliber of opponent they're facing now is, there's a reason why Saito is kind of using himself as a measuring stick for Sonosuke. It's like, if you can't even make me fight seriously, you have no business in this place, because what we're about to fight is something that, is going to give all of us a challenge, me included, Kenshin included. So them fighting the Shishio clan is no fun and games anymore. Like, this is life or death. And they especially need someone who is, if you're going to be there, you either had to win or die quick. You can't be like you can't be kind of like where Sonosuke is currently, where he's strong enough to he's strong enough to make someone fight, right? But he isn't strong enough to win those fights. And that's an issue, because if he gets captured or something like that, Well, there you go. Then you got a weakness for Kenshin that they can exploit. So, yeah, it's kind of like what C was saying, like him being a gatekeeper. So that goes to show you what we're going to face in Kyoto is is pretty trying.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what, because I know the creator, he studied a lot of history to make this. So I don't know anything about Kyoto during this era at all. I didn't know that it was, this chaotic climate with tons of death and no law and all this and whatever. So it's really fascinating and interesting.
Could be a good one. I mean, this is according to many fans the best arc of Kenshin.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah. Oh, I was asking C. I
No,
guess he's dead.
yeah,
I
no,
guess
yeah.
he's dead.
This is what people consider like the pinnacle. And yeah, I think it's also like, I think this arc is probably very important culturally over there, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we're going to see this studio hopefully stretch to its absolute absolute limit on what this studio can do. And I think this studio can do some incredible stuff. It's just a shame,
So too.
absolute fucking shame, they couldn't do this with Blade of the Immortal. They fucking had it. They had it with Blade of the Immortal, and they only gave him a budget for 24 episodes. Such a shame. But I'm glad they learned. The committee learned their mistake with and went forward with something good with Kenshin. But yeah. Anything else on this episode, I guess?
No, I'm just looking forward to see what happens the rest of this series, because it's shaping up. It looks like it's going to be an action-packed one, if I'm going to guess.
Yeah. I'm wondering what role Kaoru and Yahiko are going to play in Kyoto, given that this is going to be, all the series is fighting, but this is real serious business. So I wonder how they're going to fit. But I'm excited to see what we get from it. Especially excited to see the main villain, Shishio.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Cannot wait. But let's go ahead and get into our next show. Dandadan.
Oh my god.
So this is the title and thumbnail for this week's show. We got to discuss it, y'all. All right, moving
Can
on.
we
Next
discuss
show,
the intro? Can we discuss the intro?
Suma show, everyone. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait.
Uh,
The intro is fucking amazing by itself.
yeah, no. So, the opening is freaking awesome. The ending is great too, but the opening is like, it's just such a visual feast. I don't even know how to. It's got that Cowboy Bebop reference in it. It's one of my favorite openings in a long, long, long time. Like, this is a fantastic opening.
They did the Carlton dance in the opening too.
They did do the Carlton dance, didn't they? That's cool. They had a Pikmin rapping too.
The visuals are pretty great. I think I really like the start of it. I think after the start of it, I'm kind of like, oh, it's all right. But the start of it, I really love.
Yeah, I like all the weird focus on their faces and their teeth. That was such. It looks so weird, but it just fits. It's like one of those things you look at it. It's just like, it's like hyper realistic, and it's just stands out.
Yeah.
It's very smart.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very cool and very catchy opening.
Yeah. What did you think about the ending?
With some cat doing the blow dryer to his face.
I thought that was a lot of fun. I like that one
Yeah.
too. It's the opposite. Like the intro is really serious, right? And then the ending is very goofy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool too. I think I like the intro better than the ending, but the ending's
Same, yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I think I think the ending kind of and the openings really represent the show really well in terms of its tone and how it kind of is, because you have the craziness of the opening that just bombarding you with all this stuff, and then you have the ending, which kind of reminds you that, oh, this is like a very joyous series where you're very, like, it's supposed to make you very happy and very it's supposed to be a lot of fun. That's what Dandadan is. It's just a lot of fun.
Now, did you skip the intro?
No, I didn't. What, I will not skip the opening and ending for this.
Oh my god. What is this?
There's actually a couple shows this season that I won't be doing that for. This one, FMA, obviously.
Oh, I forgot to talk about that, but yeah. That's a great intro.
And I felt there was one more, but I may be thinking of something else. Maybe NegaPosi Angler, if we ever get it. Did we get the opening? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
I don't think we got the ending.
No. We didn't get the ending or the beginning for that yet. But anyway, let's jump into Dandadan.
Yeah. So I guess let's just start from the beginning. I guess. We are introduced to Momo Ayase, who is the main heroine of the show, along with Kin Takakura. And she is trying to find herself a boy that looks like Kin Takakura, the famous Japanese actor. Which, by the way, I searched this guy up. This guy's real. Did you guys know this?
Yeah,
No.
he's like, well, okay, so I didn't know him as in like I've seen like the movies he's been in. I was just aware of the what type of reference they were making. It was like, oh, it's got to be like somebody who's like really cool in the movie, like I don't know, like a Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that. Like that's what I thought of when they kept mentioning this person.
He got the Medal of Honor in Japan.
Mm.
He got the
Really?
Purple Heart. Like, he was...
He's a war hero?
No, they awarded that to him because of his cultural significance in Japan. So, and by the way, this guy died in 2013 or 14? Like 10 years ago, pretty much. He basically died 10 years ago at the age of 83. So Momo likes a super old guy. That's it, basically. Momo's only living memories of this man is probably him in his early 80s and late 70s. So that goes to show you how kind of impressive this guy is. But yeah, she's really into the Kin Takakura types. And she's a Gyaru. What do you think about that, Satsuki? Don't you like that archetype?
I mean, it's all right. It's not like an archetype that I'm like I look forward to. There we go. That's a Satsuki character.
Well, there's certain types that are good, like Marin's fine.
Yeah, but it's not an archetype that I necessarily like gravitate towards. It's just sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. I think with Momo, I think the appeal to her isn't like the Garu thing.
No,
It's
it
more
isn't.
so of her being outspoken and not really caring about how other people feel. Which we got to see her backstory a little bit, and it gives attention to why that is, because her grandma made her do a good luck ritual, which was basically like a humiliation ritual for her, and you know all the kids at school made fun of her, including her crush. So she developed thick skin because of being made fun of at school, and unlike Ken, she wasn't going to get bullied, so that's kind of why she is the way she is, and would also resent bullies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I really like her outspoken nature. I like how when something bothers her, she speaks out about it and she sticks up for herself, and especially for other people. Like when she saw Takakura was being bullied, she was like the first one to put a stop to that because she knew she could, and it worked.
Yeah. I love that too because they were like winding up. They're like, "All right, here we go, boys. We're gonna give them everything we got." And then she just stood there or sat there, and they just turned right back around as if they weren't about to start pelting this boy with paper. So they're like, "Well,
Oh, what is that? Something over.
How about that game last night?"
You guys see that clock at the front of the class that we should all be staring at right now?
Yeah, that's like there for a reason.
Yeah, and I like Takakura a lot in this show too because he's so socially awkward. And right after that scene, it cuts to like she's walking in the hallway again. And I love, by the way, Momo walks with that wide gait. I just think that's so funny.
The big stepping.
Yeah, she's got the big step, like in the Spy Family opening, and run like walks past Takakura, and Takakura's like, "Miss Ayase, I know who you like." He's like, "What?" You
and then
like
he says
me?
the same thing again.
Yeah. Oh god, it's just so funny, and I love how like immediately they just get into an argument, and I love the dubs, the dub and the sub for this. They are both so good. I think the casting is so great for this. It's so awesome. Natsuki Hanai, by the way, playing as Ken Takakura, Tanjiro.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Freaking Momo's friends. One of them looks like a freaking skull that you see in the Dia de los Muertos, where the Night of the Dead.
Was that makeup or was that?
She looks like a skeleton.
It's another Gyaru thing. Like they have a character like that in Komi-san, where
Oh yeah,
they'll have a Gyaru who just looks horrifying.
it's too much makeup.
Now that's scaring the holes because I was very terrified.
She looks like a member in the band Misfits.
Yeah, that too. She looks like the fucking logo of Misfits.
Yeah, and they just immediately like that entire scene in the hallway is so hilarious to me because Momo just gets so freaking mad at Takakura because Takakura doesn't know how to express himself. And he's like, "Hey, Momo, look at all these UAPs, UAPs." And he shows this magazine, which, by the way, in the manga, that was Barack Obama in the magazine, which was really funny. And he even brings up, he's like, Barack Obama is like talking about UAPs and stuff now. And Momo's like, "Oh, but, you're stupid. Aliens don't exist, but spirits do." And they end up like just fucking yelling and screaming at each other.
Yeah, Momo doesn't believe in aliens, and Ken doesn't believe in spirits. But then by the end, they believe each other.
They do,
wait.
yeah.
What do you believe in? Aliens or ghosts?
Like personally?
Personally.
I believe in both. I believe that that this universe is so big and so vast that we are absolutely, I don't know, like to think that we're the only living things in this giant universe is absurd. And then also with spirits, yeah, I believe in spirits.
I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but maybe it was the rover on Mars. I'm trying to remember if they found bacteria on Mars. And I couldn't remember if that was from the rover
There used to be water on Mars. They
Oh yeah, they figured that
proven
out.
that too. Yeah.
There's water, tons of water on Mars actually. It's just in a spongy kind of consistency under the surface.
Hmm.
But yeah, I can't remember if they found actually bacteria, or if that was just contamination from the Mars rover, which is kind of crazy because actually I did a Dandadan video today on my second channel, the new chapter that came out today, and I even brought up there this idea that, or it's not an idea, but it's this thing where they send astronauts to the ISS and they're breeding super bacteria that's like resistant to radiation and medications up there. So you have to be really careful when people from space come back to Earth because they don't want to breed super bacteria and destroy all life on Earth. So, which is unlikely to happen because there's so few people coming back and forth. But yeah. Anyways, I don't think I believe in ghosts or aliens in that sense. I think aliens are I think it's very clear. Like EA said, the universe is just so vast. It's got to be. Now, if there are aliens like the Serpoians, that's going to be a little problematic. But
What about you, Satsuki? What do you believe in?
I'm more of a ghost person.
you ever
But-
watch
but
Ghost Hunters?
I watched the ghost hunting show, but I don't think it was Ghost Hunter specifically. No.
I love Ghost
My
Hunters.
girlfriend watches Ghost Adventures with Zach Bagans. She loves that show.
Yeah, that's some good reality TV. But yeah, what did you guys think about Momo and Kin?
Momo's definitely a good character. I don't think we know much about Ken yet, but Momo, we delved a little bit into her backstory and the grandma and why, she kind of was hesitant as a kid doing the goofy ritual and whatnot, but yeah, she's great. Uh she definitely, first scene we see her is of a guy, I forget what basically brought it up, but she was trying to have sex with her.
That was her boyfriend.
Yeah, her boyfriend for like a day. They got together
Okay.
one day and broke up in one day.
Yeah, and she went for the fucking roundhouse kick, and he blocked it and whatnot. But she don't take no shit.
She does.
So I give her respect for that.
Yeah, she's
But you didn't hear you didn't like his kind offer?
hey,
What?
bitch, you better start putting out or I'm gonna get really angry or something.
Yeah, that.
No. He said she needs to she better put out. He was going to pay for the date, but she had to pay for the love hotel.
Dude,
Dashing.
They say
That-
chivalry is dead.
Chivalry is not dead with men like that.
Which I think I think that's kind of funny because Momo wants a strong man like that, and I think she's looking for it in all the wrong places.
I'll say. Yeah, freaking. Yeah, classy. She's high class, and so is he.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
very high class indeed.
But-
Yes.
But as far as Ken is concerned, he's
Ken's cute. I love him.
he's your run of the mill. Just I'm a nerd. This is what I believe in. Oh my god, this granny's coming after my weenie. The basic run of the mill.
Well,
But
they make a bet, a challenge between one another. They're like, this is one of my favorite aspects about this episode is like, Momo's like, you have to prove that aliens are real, and if you don't, you have to become my gopher. And they do it vice versa. So Ken sends her to the abandoned general hospital. Such a fun place to be sent to. Would they be breaking some laws or something like that if they did that? That seems kind of dangerous.
Probably, yeah.
And then Ken has to go to the tunnel that's supposedly haunted by spirits, which just so happens to be haunted by the infamous Turbo Granny, the fastest old lady in the West.
Or the East.
Same difference.
This that's an actual legend, by the way.
Oh, I
Is
did
it
not know
really?
Yeah,
Huh.
I think the legend is supposed to be. I don't think it's supposed to be like if because I don't think it's like, oh, you go in this abandoned tunnel and if you don't outrun Turbo Granny, you'll get cursed. I think it's like if you're in a car and you're speeding and then Turbo Granny like knocks on your door or knocks on your window or something, you'll get in a car accident.
Huh.
Dang.
No, I didn't know that.
And she'll want to eat your dick.
That's not a part of the deal, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that's kind of made up for the series.
I mean,
Because it just raises a bunch of questions. He's dickless now. What's he gonna do now that he's got no dick? Is he Ken?
he's gonna live the good life.
He's literally Ken from Barbie.
Yeah, that's true. And Momo, she runs into fucking aliens that are
Literally.
looking to gain the ability to reproduce by harvesting all of her organs.
Yeah, and it's funny because they said that they got men before, but they prefer women's.
Yeah. I think that's... Yeah, did they ever... Like, I wonder if we ever gonna learn if they ever abducted, how many people they've abducted.
I don't know, but aliens love their anal probes.
They do.
So I mean,
It reminded me of South Park. Remember that entire probing episode of
first-
South Park?
the very first episode, the pilot. Yeah.
Oh, that was the pilot? I thought the pilot was the Christmas episode.
Well, that technically isn't considered South Park lore. It's what created South Park was that Christmas thing. But the very first official South Park episode is Cartman gets an anal probe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, yes, we got some attempted probing. It almost in the spirit of the series itself. You know, Momo believes in aliens, and Ken believes in spirits simultaneously.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's funny. They both prove each other right and they both prove each other wrong. And by the end, technically, if you think about it, they both lost and won the bet.
Yeah, they're both each other's slaves. I mean, go
Yeah,
first.
They got to do each other's chores now. Or does it just cancel out?
It probably would cancel out, especially after a traumatic experience like that for both of them. One has no dick, one was stripped, not nude, but into her underwear. So it's like, yeah, I think we're even at this point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But dude, I mean, pretty much this whole episode had some top tier animation, but once it got to the actual fighting in the ship, the only thing that I could really like, the first thing that came to my mind when I saw the quality of the animation was Kill la Kill. Like, it looked so fucking good.
I never like made that comparison in my head, but when you brought that up, it is kind of fitting. It has that kind of speed to it.
Yeah, it's got speed, but also just smoothness about it. You know what I mean? Where the world kind of like squashes and crumbles around you, and then just everything's just so smooth. And what studio is this that animated it?
Science Saru.
They did a great job first episode. Let's hope second episode isn't some Uzumaki stuff. But I mean, I don't think that's going to be the case.
Oh,
I
no,
feel like
I've seen the first two episodes.
Yeah, I feel like
They're-
this.
They're really good.
I have a feeling this whole series is going to look top notch, and so far, this is probably some of the best animation I've seen all year. This alone.
There are some later arcs that are going to be wild if they adapt
can't wait.
it and they do it. Like it's I don't even know what to compare it to. You know how like all of season 2 of JJK was like just crazy ass animation,
Sure.
I don't even think it's gonna hold a candle if they do it right.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be like AOT, Gundam, Dragon Ball, JJK, all mixed into one. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah. But definitely shout out to the animators that did this. You know, hopefully you guys didn't have to stress whenever you made this, but I don't think they did because it seems like
Yeah,
it's
they're
been
ahead of
out for a
schedule.
while. Yeah.
They were totally done like months ago with this series.
Yeah, hopefully they can. I mean, it seems like it's already popular and there's only one episode left, so hopefully they don't have to stress and they can continue making this kind of quality animation throughout the series.
Yeah, this anime is gonna be. It's already a smash hit, but it's gonna be insane. Like it's just this is the only thing people are gonna talk about for a long time. But yeah, what did you guys think about it beyond that? Anything else? It's kind of a simple first episode. Before we get into the end, the whole twist.
Not really.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great all around. It's a wacky type anime. It's, you know, what you come to expect from wacky type animes, which the animation fits it very well. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but twist at the end.
Yeah.
What's the twist?
His name?
Oh my gosh,
Ken
his name.
Takakura.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
And she just looks at him like, "You're the man of my dreams."
Yeah.
But now you got no dick.
Yeah. I also love the mirroring of this scene and the earlier scene because it mirrors when he takes off his clothes to give them to her because she's naked, right? And that mirror, like she sees, she's like, the only way to get to not, because he's cursed by Turbo Granny at this point. The only way to get through this is you have to defeat Turbo Granny, and so Ken's just like, all right, I guess I have to just do it through sheer willpower alone. Let's do this. And he goes back to he's gonna go back to the tunnel or whatever. And then Momo's like, why don't you ask me for help? I'm like the only one that can like keep you in this form and everything. So like, and then he's like, oh, someone like you help me? I thought that was such a nice scene that mirrors the scene where they're in the hallway. Because in the hallway, she screams at him or whatever, and then he drops his magazine, picks it back up, and hands it to her. And she does the same again later on. Picks up, takes the clothes, hands it back to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll admit when she did, because I hate when animes do that whole where people get mad for no fucking reason. She at least understood when she got mad that it was a little too extreme and too far. She was like, okay, that was a bit harsh. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And she took it back.
Yeah. I like that it mirrored that. What else? What else?
Dan is pissed off at you.
Why? What did I say? What did I do?
I don't know. I guess you're not reading his stuff. Also, Dan, just so you know, we don't catch and read every single chat that comes through here.
We're known for not reading our chat at times.
I mean, there's definitely some times where we'll read it and whatnot, but don't worry, Dan. We know that you're here and we got you. We know you're giving us a lot of fun facts with everything, and we appreciate it.
We especially have to get through things a lot quicker today because, I mean, we have 7 episodes to cover.
Yeah.
Yep. The first season of a new season, or the first episode of a first season, is always our longest one. So this is probably going to be like 4 hours.
Yeah, I think Dandadan Dandadan and Kenshin are probably going to be our shortest, and then next week everything will be kind of normal. But any other thoughts on this episode?
No, it's entertaining. I can't wait for the next episode. Dun, 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 dun.
All right. Let's go ahead and let's talk about Satsuki's pick, Suma Show. Do you want me to say Satsuki's pick, Satsuki?
Say it.
Satsuki's pick. Satsuki's pick.
No, say it.
This is Satsuki the Savage's pick.
You have to say the name.
This is his anime that he chose.
I'll say it then. If my wife becomes an elementary school student, I kind of just shortened to, well, at least in the notes, I just titled it School Wife because I figured that would be easier.
Hey, school wife.
You know, it should be called Old Man Husband or something.
So this was a very interesting first couple episodes, Sasuke.
Yeah.
I'll definitely say that. It's weird, and what I mean by that is it has this very somber, very depressing tone to it, and yet it has at the same time this reincarnated girl who's the man's husband, but like it almost seems like she's a different person in a way.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
thought
Like
too.
because we see this the wife Take, she's sweet, she's like the wife that's all, this is our daughter, this is, I love you honey, you're my, I love you. And then Take kind of like comes back randomly after being, well, father who's Nijima, is that how you say it?
Nijima, yeah.
Nijima, cool, I got it. Basically just depressed for 10 whole years. And, she just randomly comes up, sees that it's him, almost like she had an epiphany, knocks on her door and goes, I'm back, Baka. And it was just so... just weird how she kind of went about and did it like that, just because I was like, oh, okay, so now we're doing this, and then it turns into a completely different show, after that. And
Yeah, episode 1 was crazy. It was crazy in the sense that it set up this tone that his wife was dead for 10 years, and he literally says time stood still. I have given the impression that his whole life, he's a broken man, and he acts that way, obviously. And you could see their home, it's cold. It's the daughter. She's older now, and she hangs out and this with the lights off. It's just all grim and depressed. It does look like time is just frozen still for everyone in that house. And then the wife shows back up, and the wife before was set up as this peachy, really nice, just super genuine, good-hearted person that seemed like she was just an angel.
Mm-hmm.
And she shows up and she's like a tsundere, and I didn't know what to think about that. I thought that was a plot hole in the series, especially with her character, because it just doesn't make sense. Why would she act this way?
Does she hate being a kid that much?
Well, does she what makes someone go from being an angel to being like that? That's it, especially as it's just crazy, especially if you're reincarnated and you remember everything.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. It was just eerie. And the whole tone of the first episode almost seemed like there was going to be some horror twist. I thought somebody was going to get murdered or something. But of course that's for the show does take a darker twist in the second episode, and you kind of learn that
Sure.
the wife, her new mom, is batshit insane, and that's probably an explanation to why she acts that way, because she's lived in a household for 10 years of this crazy, abusive, obsessive mother who doesn't allow her child basically any sort of privacy or any sort of decency, and she's just lost it. I don't know why, but Like
It's because of the divorce.
I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah, that does something to people for sure. Everybody reacts differently to divorce.
And the first episode, I was not interested. I was like, oh, I don't know about this show. But the second episode, I was like, oh, well, I don't really know about it, but that's interesting. The mother, and it makes me interested to see how the plot goes because there's so many avenues that the series can choose. You can go, down the whole laundry list. Like she's gonna find out, she's been hanging out with this family, but she doesn't know she's like reincarnated and stuff. I don't know how they're gonna handle all that, but I remember by the end of those first 2 episodes, I went, man, if I was this guy, I wouldn't be happy at all. I would lose it. Like imagine, your wife has been dead for 10 years and she shows up as a child,
as a little kid,
and
That's
knows
so
everything.
weird.
I would probably go crazy. Like legit. Cuz how could you believe that? Cuz
Right.
clearly her death affected him deeply. And
Yeah.
the thing is like they even sort of had closure with her death too to some degree. Like she had cancer or whatnot. So it's just weird. It's a weird setup for a show.
Okay, so where do I want to go first at? Okay, so I enjoyed these 2 episodes. I thought, given what we got at the first episode, I thought the purpose of Takaye was going to be solely just to get them to move on. And while I still think that's going to be an aspect of the show moving forward, I was really happy with episode 2 because with her being reincarnated, that gives you a whole different avenue to work with where now you can focus on her getting a new lease on life and how, you know, being a 30-year-old mentally woman in a child's body, like how's that going to affect her? And so I'm happy we actually focused on her life for a bit, which I'll talk more about that. But like as far as it goes to like the family and whatnot, um, I think them being really happy with her coming back just goes to show you because they called her like or she called or them like the sun in her life, and it works the same way for them. It's like she just radiates this energy that makes everything feel okay. So like them being happy with seeing her, I don't think it was going to be any sadness on the part of seeing her as a child because it's love that transcends the physical form. They know that that's their mom, his wife. So because they know that it's kind of like it doesn't matter in what form she is. They're just happy that they can be able to talk to her, laugh with her, and live life with her.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's interesting. I'm really glad it didn't get to the creepy because with this premise, obviously we're all thinking like, are they going to do like I don't know, are they going to
They
like
had that one scene though where he took a picture of her, and then, but I like the fact that she said, "Hey, don't save that in your phone. They're gonna think you're a fucking pedo. Get rid of it." But he was like, "But I love my wife," and on one hand I get it, and then the other hand it's just like, dude, wake up. That was probably the extent of it that I noticed.
I like how it's like almost like a father-daughter dynamic more than it is,
Mm-hmm.
Husband wife. It's a funny twist.
the show is very self-aware of how it looks, and because of that, is able to because that whole thing is played up for laughs. So it's like the show understands like this could go in a real creepy way, but we're not going to
Right.
do that. We're just going to make fun of it here because obviously it looks weird seeing this grown man who has no relation to this little girl have a picture of her. So they understand like they know how to make it not creepy. It's going to always be weird, but
Yeah.
you could always not make it creepy.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad they at least did that because I was, Usagi drops. Not so much the anime, more I'm talking about more the manga. Mm. I, I don't want it to go that route.
No, 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 no.
But yeah, it just almost makes you think, what would you do if you were in that situation and you had somebody that you love come back as a young, like 10-year-old, girl or boy or whatever, like somebody that you knew and loved that way. That's, you know, I'm sure it would be weird to anybody. And it would absolutely be one of those, well, I'm happy you're here, but it, because not only do we have that, but now we have a Nijima with this coworker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a wrinkle.
That's a twist. I'm like, I wonder what they're gonna do with that.
yeah, because now is okay. Wait, before I do that, because uh, yeah, the Crepus Storm. It was a car accident.
Oh, it was really a
I
car
thought it was
killer.
cancer.
It was a car accident.
I
Had
think
a
it's
sickness
cancer.
too. So well, when you see her body, it's all scuffed up and everything. Well, Dan says it was a fish that killed her.
I mean, fishes are pretty dangerous.
That we'll find out in the next series. But
Okay.
always a car.
Wait. I'm trying to remember where I was going. Oh yeah, we were talking about the girl that's Moria, who's totally into Nijima. This is where I also find it very interesting because he still loves her. And with her being there, like with her presence, he is so oblivious to someone who's obviously into him. She's wanting to eat with him, willing to make homemade bento box for him and everything. So obviously Moria's into him, but he's so happy about seeing his wife that it's like he doesn't see anything else. He's just like, oh, I'm just I got my wife back. That's how he thinks. So it's what I really enjoy is like this lingering potential, or not really potential, but this plot point where it's going to be a point in time where he's going to have to move on from her.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize it yet. There's novelty in her coming back because everybody's decided that's again their mom, wife. Everybody's decided, but nobody is understanding that's not things aren't how they were 10 years ago. She's in a completely different body. You're not going to be able to get back together with her, and it's kind of different for the daughter because that'll always be her mom no matter what. But he eventually is going to have to move on in his love life.
For
It's
sure.
not going to work. So at some point, that what she was trying to do in episode 2 was she was going to break off their relations. She was going to just cut ties with them, which I thought was a very interesting interesting like point with her character where she just realized that although she loves her family, she is also kind of disappointed in them not moving on from her death, and she realizes that she's kind of an obstacle in them moving on in a way. So it's very interesting because at the end of it, she doesn't commit to it, and it seems like she's going to stick around. But given what the mom showed, or uh, Takaye's mom showed in episode 2, she's going to find out, and it's going to be hell to pay.
Oh my god. I almost want to see like how real they can make this, and what I mean by that is, you know, have the other mother come in and say, "You've been talking with my daughter." Oh, that's actually my wife. What the fuck are you talking about? Stay
No,
away from my daughter.
she's definitely going to that house and either calling the police or like raising hell, and she's
Setting
going to be
fires.
she's going to be justified in it, which
Oh,
is going to be the
absolutely.
crazy part.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very unique premise, and I'm glad they're kind of going about it the way that they're doing, because There definitely is a reason why she's back, and I wonder what that could possibly be. Because yeah, episode 2 got really dark.
Well,
uh,
I
with all
think it's
that,
to I think it's to help them move on. Like
yeah,
that's a part of it. I
for
think
sure.
I think even with her mom, she's going to be there to help her move on as well. Because one thing I noticed with because they said like it's been a year after her divorce, and if you notice her conversation or Takaya's mom's conversation on the phone, it seems like a point with her is that she's like really boy crazy, or she's infatuated with her new boyfriend who seems not to really care about her because apparently she's already been stood up. So it's like she got her heart broken, divorced, and now she's kind of leaning on men to try to fill that void. So maybe even in the same way that Takaya is here to help the Najimas, she's here to help her mom as well. Because even though she was reincarnated, she didn't have her memories from birth, or she just suddenly, like you were saying, yeah, it was kind of like an epiphany when it just suddenly happened. So this, I don't think her consciousness is going to stick around for the duration of
Oh,
this show. I think eventually
it's gonna
she's
go
going to
away.
let, yeah, she's going to go away.
Wow, I didn't even think about it that way, but that would be very interesting. Yeah, because crazy. It's crazy for sure. Yeah, she's back, and I like all, and I'm talking about husband and the daughter and everything. They were just very much depressed, eating store bought meals every day, and then that's when Take comes in and goes, "We need to get you regular meals again. You need to get yourself a job and stop being a moocher and a bum. You got to start interviewing, getting jobs." Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like one of those insightful things where it's like, somebody may be gone, but life also moves on. So, you either gotta you'll always remember the other person, but you won't ever, and you'll always be sad and you'll always miss them, but either life moves on without you or you move along with life.
It's gonna happen one way or the other. Ominous positivity, I think, is what they call it.
For sure. Oh, wow. I guess we did kind of like cover uh mostly
We're
episode
very
1 and
efficient with these last three anime.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say with episode 2, um, the only thing I could really kind of mention, other than the mother and then the divorce, and then just how very upset she is, and she takes it out on her children or child because of how upset she is. Other than that, there was a wonderful, heartwarming scene when it came to, uh, they're talking about your mother is like almost 40 something years old and she's going to be with grade schoolers. I wonder how she interacts with them. And she's just trying to be peacemaker with all of them. And just, it almost puts into perspective, it really does put into perspective just how when you're 10 years old, what you get angry about is just so insignificant versus when you're an adult. And I don't know, I just found that kind of funny to me. Where
What I
she's just
found
a judge.
what I found funny about it was like it was like, yeah, she's mature enough to be the peacemaker, but in the end, she didn't really even help them because
No.
they're kids. They're like, shut the fuck up, old lady.
Right, you're an old lady, and nobody likes old ladies, Baka. And she just like went to a corner and had her friends, and they had their hands folded, like this is our friends now. And yeah, that one boy is gonna get heartbroken whenever because they're doing the whole childhood friend thing and everything.
Yeah. And he seems to know the old Takaye, so because she now is like, obviously she has the consciousness of the Takai that died.
Yeah.
There's like a discrepancy between those two
I'll be
characters.
right
so
back.
yeah, there's like a discrepancy between those two characters. So I don't know if that's going to be something big moving forward, as in if the mom is going to notice a big difference with her as well. She's already been, chewing her out for staying out late and all this and give me your aquarium money, which I thought was why?
Aquarium money.
Give me the rest of the money. Okay, I have like 500
Yeah,
yen.
it was like pocket change. It was nothing.
I know there's more. Like what? What is wrong with her?
Yeah, it feels so petty on her part. And also it's like, what does it even matter?
She's just like how the Nijimas are depressed about Takaye passing. She's depressed about her divorce. If you notice too,
Oh, that's a good mirror.
she was there was a scene where she was talking on the phone and the room was dimly lit. It had like this blue filter, and if you notice, there was like trash, like trash bags just laying out in the room, and that's like an actual real sign of depression when you just don't keep up your cleanliness. So yeah, she's also depressed, and that's why she's taking out her anger on her daughter. Not to excuse it, but that's just how it is.
Yeah. Yes, it's unfortunate, but yeah, some people need an outlet for their anger, and sometimes they take it out on people. It ain't right, but it's what people do.
It's a very real thing. So this show is covering a lot of heavy topics. So it's just a wonder if it's going to execute on it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anything else about these 2 episodes?
No, that was pretty much it.
All right. Let's get into some NegaPosi Angler episode 1. AKA the boy with so much luck he doesn't even realize it.
Oh, it is a couple of different things to talk about. I want to just talk about this. These loan sharks, I can't tell if they're good or ass. Because okay. So they couldn't catch them, right? I was like, all right. I don't understand how you can't catch them, but all right. You're loan sharks. In fact, you weren't even supposed to run up on him at the casino. If you're gonna run up on him, run up on him when he's at home, when he's defenseless, so he doesn't have an opportunity to run away. But there's that. But then, like later in the episode, they chase him on a boat, and I go, "How much money did he owe? Because that's an expensive trip."
For sure. And these people that were chasing him, the lady was like on her fucking deathbed,
She was seasick.
She was seasick. She was regular sick because she was wearing the mask. And, when she was running, she passed out. Like she doesn't have a good immune system.
This reminded me, the whole loan sharks thing sort of reminded me of this kind of trope, and I don't know how to describe this trope because I don't know much about it. But when I see it, I love it every time. And I don't know if this is an example of that, but the example I gave EA last night was in BioShock Infinite, there were that quartet of men that would sing. And Ken Levine, the maker, writer of BioShock Infinite, and obviously it's kind of obvious if you study the story any, that quartet was a representation of life and death, and I forget specifically, maybe they're like angels or something like that. So I wonder if in this story as well, that the fact that he's been handed this death sentence, which by the way, the dude failed to die 3 times in the first minute of this series.
Mm-hmm.
Impressive. But I wonder. I think that's why I like these loan sharks, because I think they may represent that kind of trope, and I just love it every time it's used. Like these group of characters that sort of represent death and rebirth in some way. It's really nice. You don't see it
Yeah,
often.
they either represent that or the Three Stooges.
Oh yeah.
I was definitely thinking Team Rocket with them. I'm just like
Oh fuck, even better, Team Rocket, for
just like
sure.
these goofy goons. They almost made them endearing to the point. It's like they're loan sharks, but you just look at them like these guys are kind of harmless, but then they're not at the same time. Because the last part of the episode, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's your retaliation?
Yeah, they just fucking
Oh my
demolish
God.
his fucking house.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
God.
why I think that's why I think they represent that trope, because they're so harmless, but yet they're so effective. It's such a juxtaposition.
Yeah, so this guy, he got 2 years to live. He got some kind of like brain tumor or brain cancer.
Yeah, it looks like he had 3 tumors on his brain.
Yeah, and he's, young. He's in his early 20s, college age, and what is there to say other than he thought he was going to get isekai'd, but instead
He got
he
fish-ified.
got fish-ified onto I don't know what you would call it, but just some area where they fish.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about he got fishy guide to like an actual anime group. They're like the most anime group ever.
Yeah,
Oh
one of
my
them's
God.
Brazilian Hatsune Miku.
Brazilian Hatsune Miku, short bald guy with glasses, balding with glasses that says nothing. Pink hair, and then there's a girl with
The obvious
hairstyle.
the obvious love interest.
Yeah, where she's
the frying pan hair.
she got the spatula frying pan hair.
I didn't know
Cracked
like
a couple
what
eggs
to.
on that.
I don't know. I didn't know what to describe the shape of her hair. I was like, I kept looking at her hair. I was like, it looks like a fucking gourd or something. Like it has like this big bottom, but like the top is
Big
what it
bottom.
is.
Talk about mud flaps, my girls got them.
Yeah, but freaking, it's your basic run of the mill. Just you're learning about something new, never done, so you learn the basics about fishing. Carp, who's also named after a fish, said that what they were doing was bullshit because he fishes a lot.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, he definitely was like, look, I fish. They're using a weird angler and a lure for.
He doesn't know shit, okay? I know shit because I played Stellar Blade, okay? And I got almost all of the fishies in Stellar Blade. So what does he know?
You can't mess with that logic.
I don't think you get new bikinis when you get fish in real life, see?
Well,
sorry.
Damn. I caught a couple Amazon boxes.
Oh yeah, that was a thing too.
Did you catch like a tire and a boot too?
No, I think it's just like Amazon boxes is what you catch. Like unopened packages. Really weird.
The Crepus Storm said it's like the loan sharks do well up into the last step. What's up with the bottom part of her hair? I don't know. It's interesting though. Like, they all have designs that make them super unique. And
I love the short old guy. That was like
I love the face he makes. It's like this weird fish face.
He looks like
He's
a
probably
Simpsons
part
character.
fish. Yeah, he really does. He does look like a Simpsons character. Animation's surprisingly really good for this.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look too cheap. It looks nice. And I don't know if that's just the first episode, just the animation. They always gotta make the first episode look great, or if the rest of the series is gonna look the same. But it looks pretty good.
This anime feels like it came out of like that era where you had like a lot of KyoAni stuff, like when they were popping off, like Anohana. It's like it feels like it comes
Oh.
right out of that era. It feels like it's like 10 years too late for that just bubble of slice
Wait
of
a
life.
minute. Wait a minute. Is the old dude? Is he just like shaped like a goldfish? Now that I look at him,
He's reincarnated from a fish.
I think that's what they were going for with his like how he's shaped. I think he's supposed to look like a goldfish.
I mean,
They asked
he's great, so we need more of him.
they asked everybody why they like fishing, and he didn't even answer. He just had his back to the main character, didn't even acknowledge his presence.
Why would I answer a question from a peasant?
But you
Also-
do see him like fishing in like the cold.
Yeah, they use him as examples. I think he's gonna be like a funny levity character, but I hope he gets an arc. I hope he's like the Mimcho of this series.
I hope so too. Speaking of carp, there he is. They were talking how lures are made to look like fish. The important part of the movements of the lures and the colors. See, they don't need to look like fish. See, Carp had his issues with the anime. He
It's over.
he
Satsuki's dreams are ruined. He
My
thought he was-
immersion. My immersion.
It's
I
not
thought
realistic.
I could just throw and catch fish.
You gotta make multiple videos about this, Satsuki. You gotta slander it.
No, Carp needs to make a video. He needs to. You know how like, well, they usually do this with game and stuff, but like for example, like it would be Ace Attorney. It would be like lawyer reacts to Ace Attorney, or you know,
Oh yeah.
Carp needs
There
to
you
be
go.
fisherman reacts to NegaPosi angler. You need that.
For
I also
sure.
thought it was interesting that the doctor at the very beginning said, "Yeah, you got some brain tumors, kid. If you don't treat this, you're probably gonna fucking die." And he just completely ignored that and went, "Yeah, I guess I'm gonna just die in 2 years." I wonder why, because that is a interesting thing to say, that if he doesn't do something about it, he may die.
Yeah, we don't really know anything about this guy's life. We just know that he's had a string of really bad luck, but we don't know how he got to that point. Like, maybe that'll have something to do with it, and maybe why. All I hope is they don't have this anime logic of through the power of fishing, he no longer has brain cancer. I don't want that.
No, that's definitely not going to happen. I think he's what I think is going to happen based on that first line in the first 3 minutes of the episode is that he's going to spend however many months with this group, and he's going to confide in them and be like, nothing means anything because in 2 years I'll be dead because I have cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be like, you should get that treated. And he's going to be like, oh, okay.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
that's the it's the gist of it. But there's going to be a lot of probably some crying in there.
All he needs to do is hide in Hana's hair.
That's true. That's true. The cure for cancer is in the somewhere in there. In that forest of hair. But yeah, there's probably gonna be a lot of screaming. The dude, the pink dude, is probably gonna yell at him. The one chick's probably gonna cry at him. The goldfish guy is probably gonna ignore the fuck out of him, or probably say something really prophetic. Who knows?
No, not say something. Do something.
Ooh.
yeah. I mean, do you see how much he tried to press him for just to even try to fish? You should fish.
He's gonna
No,
catch
it's okay.
like
You need to do it.
he's gonna catch the giant mackerel, or whatever.
He's gonna catch Moby Dick, the white whale, and he's going to avenge Captain Ahab.
Or he can get the red Gyarados.
Or he's gonna get the suit, the elusive suit from Stellar Blade.
Oh, he's gonna get the Amazon boxes.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Wait, I forget what the suit is for getting all the fish. What was it? Do you know, Satsuki?
It was like this maid dress thing.
Oh. You think it would be like a bikini or something, but you just find the bikini on a bridge.
It was bikini like, if I remember it right. I'm pretty sure it was like blue. It had like these
Yeah.
made like frills on it. I didn't really like it that much, but yeah.
No, I like the Kill Bill outfit. That was the best one.
Oh, I love that. I was wearing that every time I fought.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, back to fishing the anime. This is some comfort food anime, y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
I think after episode 1 I can say check this one out. I think this one it has such a strong emphasis on the plot and the characters. It kind of necessitates itself to be good. So, I think this is a safe recommendation. This is probably the safest show outside of FMA we're covering this season.
This is a pretty nice friend group, like just Khan on the general level, because I mean,
Yeah. Not a single one of them was like, I don't like this guy. He shouldn't be in our group. There's always one, but there wasn't anyone that was like that.
Yeah.
there's always that one hater. We should have let you drown.
I also love the idea and the visual and just the feeling of going out to one of those breaks, just away from society in the middle of the ocean, and fishing there.
Absolutely. So, real question. Have y'all ever fished before? If so, when was the last time?
Long time ago.
Same
Same.
here.
I can't tell you much about it.
I can
Did
tell
you
you a
catch
lot
anything?
about it.
Yeah, I did. It's like this small ass fish, like this big. Threw it right back in the water.
I can tell you everything about my last experience fishing. The reason why I'm not fishing right now is because I went out on a fishing trip with my father, just me and him, on a boat. And you know how on the boat at the very bottom on the back there's that little plug you can pull to drain all the water?
Oh my god, yes.
My father forgot to put it back in. So we
The
are
boat
like
was
in the
sinking.
middle of the lake, and I'm like, yo, Dad, I hate to break this one to you, buddy, but we're taking in water. And he's like, oh shit. So he tries to turn on the engine. I kid you not. We got about as good luck as this guy. The engine doesn't work for some reason. It worked before. 5 minutes before, it was working fine. It just gave out. And so we had to, I don't know why. My father didn't have paddles, but we had one paddle. It was like rotted and fucking broken. So we're like, he's got the paddle. I'm using my hands. It's just, and at the end of it, I was just like, Dad, I'm never, ever doing this ever again. This is redonkulous. And sure enough, haven't fished since.
Damn. Well, I'm definitely sorry to hear that. As for me, I think the last time I fished, I told you a little bit about it, see, but I'll tell everyone else. It was at a recreational lake. I set the pole down, looked away. Fish gets it, goes right into the lake. And my dad immediately was like, oh, son of a... Like, he was more worried about losing the damn fishing pole. And he's just like, oh, I'm going to have to pay to get another fishing pole. Oh, my God. So, for some reason, somebody, like, he got these hooks, and he was borrowed it from somebody, and he just was throwing them out into the lake and just pulling them back. And he eventually got it, luckily. It took him a couple hours. And then that same trip, my brother was like, for some reason, he decided to reach out into the pond to try to get a stick and then fell right into the lake.
Oh my god.
And then, he got out of the just soaked and crying because, again, I was probably 10, so he was probably 7. And my dad was just like, well, what are you doing swimming for? Always the man that knew subtleties and how to treat people when they were just suffered something traumatic. But yeah, that was the last time I fished. I had a fish and it got away literally because it was my fishing pole and it got dragged under. Oh man, but I've caught fish before, like bluegills and maybe little teeny tiny bass. Nothing to write home about.
Did you do what the MC did in this episode?
Became one with the pole.
I must run away. I want to
alive.
live.
I'm alive.
No, I never fished with like a lure that was like that. It was always worms, and then you had weights, and then you had that little white and orange kind of like bob that would just float so that you would know if a fish got it or not. And that was the only time I ever did it. Never did any of that. Ooh. Even though I wanted to, I always said, hey, can we do that? And my dad was like, no, they're too expensive. I don't know if he was just saying that just to say it or he just didn't want me to use one. So it is what it is, I guess. Haven't fished since. I would like to do it again, but
Yeah.
I just wouldn't know what to do.
Guys, I feel it's inevitable for me. I feel like I'm gonna become a fisherman. It's I don't know what
KOA fishes.
All right.
I think you're looking at a future serial fishman right here.
Really?
And I
mean,
don't
you're
know why
sea
that
Texas,
is.
right? You're sea
I mean,
Texas, right?
you're going back to the ocean.
No, my name's Bento. Please call me Bento.
Is that because your name is Ben and you also have a toe?
No, it's my Chainsaw Man channel's name, Bento. But I do have a toe. I watched this episode and I went, man, that would be so fucking awesome to go out in the middle of the fucking ocean and sit on a break and just be alone and fish. That'd be fucking awesome. Just away from everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. We'll have to do a KOA fishing excursion one of these days.
We're gonna go both to 3 different locations and stream simultaneously.
Stream while we're streaming.
Yeah. That'd be great. And a nightmare.
I'm fly fishing. I'm bass fishing. I'm saltwater fishing.
Just a 14-hour stream. Sitting
Just
out
us fishing.
and getting intoxicated.
Yeah. You ever see those weird fishing videos where it's not just about fishing, but people reacting to people fishing
No,
and
that's a
being
thing.
weird about it? It's a fucking thing. There are people on YouTube where it's like, angry people versus fishermen. And I'm thinking to myself, how can you be mad at somebody fishing? But there are people that do.
That seems like a hate on people kind of thing.
I agree. And I kid you not, guys. There is a video of a lady like upset over a person that caught a fish saying, "You're killing the fish." I don't know if this
Has
person's
never fished before. What the fuck?
No, I know. I don't know if this person is doing this for clout or is literally mentally insane. But
Does it bother a fish at all?
no, it's on the fucking their lip. And heaven forbid they actually eat the lure, but you just dig that out.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
I know, but those are legit videos on YouTube, and it's crazy to me that people could even be so much as pissed off at people fishing. Like there are some people. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I swear this is the last bit. There are people that have like lakes in the back of their house, and they'll complain about people fishing in the back of their house. It's an open lake. You know what I mean? It's an open lake, and people are like, "Hey, you can't fish there." It's an open lake.
Well, you know, EA, I have to feel special.
There's a legit lady, person's on a boat and he's fishing. This lady that's at her house is on a dock and jumps in the lake with her clothes on to make him leave.
Listen,
People,
EA,
man.
I should feel special at every single point in my life. All right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they certainly are special.
Anyways, anything else
Sorry.
about NegaPosi Angler?
I think this is definitely going to be the nice kind of carefree anime of the year.
The Crypto Store said this episode was pretty good, but when you guys watch anime originals, they usually get worse as they go on, so I'm not getting excited. I like how the Crypto Store didn't say, "Oh, we just pick things that get worse." He said, "When we watch it."
Yeah, it's our fault.
Like it only gets bad whenever we like pay attention to it.
Yeah, it's like, guys, KOA was watching. We have to make episode 6 the
Guys.
worst fucking shit in the world.
Oh no, they're making it and they're like, oh no, we made a shit anime. KOA's covering it.
That might be true though, because like the anime original, well, except for like Carol and Tuesday, like that
Carol and
was that was good.
Tuesday and
Yeah.
Odd Taxi.
But no, I was going to mention Odd Taxi because we didn't
sorry.
watch it. We didn't watch it when it first aired, so
You're right.
It was
You're right.
safe. It was safe from our wrath.
I'm gonna bet Decrepit Storm 1 billion doll hairs that this anime is gonna be good, and we will not drop it.
I hope it's good.
In
Me too.
fact, I'll say it's gonna get a pass every single week. No kills from anyone.
I hope
as-
so.
As long as Hana gives me hair tips.
You want to have the spatula look?
I mean, I would like to know how to get the spatula look.
Do you want the shovel?
Yeah. What if that's just like how she wakes up and she doesn't even like mess with her hair at all? What if the real hair expert is Hatsune Miku?
The Brazilian Hatsude.
I gotta have something. I have to have an anime hairstyle.
You got the twin tails going.
Yeah, you look like a dead mom.
Where's Rising Sun? He'd be going crazy right now for twin tails.
You look like Mercedes from Fire Emblem.
Oh, I know what look he's gonna go for. I thought you were gonna twist him, because that's what's her face in Bleach.
Yeah,
that does it.
Unohana.
Yeah, that does it.
Yeah,
like,
right.
yeah.
So.
Oh, there you go. Beautiful.
Dang. What's your power level? What's your Bankai? Zanpakuto.
My Bankai, one
Yeah.
strand of hair can completely decimate you.
That sounds
Blow you
about
away.
accurate. Well, I guess that's it for KOA this week, y'all. I'm fucking
Nope.
tired.
Don't
No.
forget the questions.
There's questions? Oh, that's
don't
right.
don't close it. Do not close it.
All right, not gonna close it. Not gonna close it.
Viewer questions.
All right.
Oh, wrong one. Shit.
So...
Is there any questions?
No questions.
Oh, good. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
We're out of here.
All right. Now you can close it.
Okay. That's great. That's fantastic. EA,
Yes, sir.
tell them everything. Oh wait, it went to
will.
Satsuki. Why'd you go to Satsuki? What the hell? This thing's bugging
Sasuke,
out.
you tell them.
That was me.
Well, no, I went back to EA. I went.
Oh, me again. Okay. Hello, everybody. It's your old pal, Everything Animated. We're talking about stuff that you can find me at. You can find me at Mitchell, Everything Animated. Not much of anything. Maybe some corn concert videos that'll be uploaded here soon if I remember to do it.
And a
So
corn
that-
mukbang.
No, not eating anything. It's the band, sir. So Yeah, you can expect those. I dropped a link for the Blue Sky that we have whenever we go live. We have a Patreon for the King of Anime podcast, only $1 stinking dollar. And we have a backlog, like C said earlier. So for $1, you get quality content. So if you like stuff like this, it's just basically more of that, but more exclusive to everybody. So I also have a Twitch whenever I get around to streaming on Twitch, but you can watch me doing the Danganronpa whenever I get a chance. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Satsuki.
You can find me on my main channel, Satsuki the Savage, where I plan to post some Hunter x Hunter live reaction videos to 397 through 401. And I will be talking about Hunter x Hunter on a weekly basis on my Twitch channel on Sundays. And as well, I will be streaming, or I always stream, on the weekends, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Twitch, Satsuki the Savage, with a DA in between the Satsuki and the Savage. So catch me there. I streamed for a very long time. Last Saturday was 15-hour stream where I was just playing. I think I only played Nika and Persona 4. But yeah. Follow me on those sites, on those channels. And yeah. That's it.
Well, as for me, did a Dandadan video today on my Dandadan channel. There may be some other videos this week. Who knows? I think there is. Yep. Thanks everybody for watching. Much appreciated. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
Johnny.
Later.